8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only.
It's showtime.
It's showtime, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode here of Circle the Bay Podcast, episode 153, ladies and gentlemen, señoras y señores. Welcome once again here to Circle the Bay Podcast, capítulo 153. Most of you know I've been seeing, of course. I'm here with my man, my blood, mi hermano. Hey, what is going on? Torque Wrestling, what's going on? My man right here. Dinero, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. What is going on? Dinero!
What's good? Let the LOG play out.
You gotta let it out. You gotta let it play out.
Yep.
Niggas acting tough in the hood to the wolves come. Bitches let it drink in the club to the wolves come.
Right.
Surrounded by the sheep in the street to the wolves come. Everyone
right.
strip on the floor. We the wolves done.
Who can fuck with De Niro? I got a Snyder extender clip, so who wanna play hero? Go bad shit like Ozzy, I was born.
Who's even out yet?
Oh, you
It's
the
not even out yet.
pull up and you're harmless.
I dropped that shit.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
What up? Love doing this every Sunday. I'm back home. You know what I mean? With my brother Ivan.
Absolutely. Yes. And shout out to everybody in the chat. What is going on? More Torque Wrestling. What is going on? J-Man, what's going on? That's right.
Jay.
What's going on, J-Man? Just in
Last
time,
name,
baby.
show.
What is going on? And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a stack show today. So much shit that we
I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll... I just got burgers.
we got everything. Well, burgers maybe later on today. Maybe later on. That's a maybe. But before we even start with anything coming up, if you see right above us, and as well if you read it down below, make sure you subscribe and follow not only Circle the Bay, but also part of the Bloodline Entertainment Network, because you're also watching this on the Bloodline Entertainment Network YouTube channel and Twitch. Make sure you follow and subscribe and follow all over all those social media platforms and the sexy website bloodlinenetwork.com for all your sports and entertainment. Go there and check it out with the incredible articles, of course, from Brett, from Bakley, from Mock Draft Guide, from NFL Fantasy, Baseball Fantasy from Streets, Texas Ranger. Man, you got it all right there on the bloodlinenetwork.com. Make sure you guys go and check out the sexy website and get everything, all you need in one place. And that is bloodlinenetwork.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe and follow us as well on the Bloodline Entertainment Network, because we them ones, baby. We them ones, baby. Throw it up. We are them ones. All right, now it's time to get into the action. There's a lot of professional wrestling happening next weekend. Of course, we're not going to be available next weekend because we're going to be pretty much doing watch-alongs, most likely with the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Some of us will be out of town, but we possibly will be back Monday. Hopefully so, depending on everybody's schedule, because it's the holiday weekend. But those, holiday weekend, we have nothing but a lot of pro wrestling. So we're going to start with the one happening on Friday, just to knock it out of the park. Then that is, of course, Impact Under Siege, coming to you this Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, and 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Impact Plus. Make sure, the predictions! Yes, Bakley, yes, the predictions is happening. This is a prediction show, and this is a stacked card. This is, and pull it up right here. Let me show you the card that we have. So we do have the countdown. We have the digital championship. Joe Hendry against Dirty Dango. And, of course, we have Steve Macklin, Nick Aldis versus Kenny King. We do have a Design versus Sami Callihan, Rich Swann, and a mystery partner. You have the Impact World Tag Team Championship, ABC, defending it against Subculture, which is Mark Andrews and forgot the other guy's name, Jesus Christ, Flash Gordon, who was both of them were part of NXT UK. You have the number one contendership matchup there, the winner between, of course, Eddie Edwards, Moose, and Yuya, and you have Alex Shelley, Frank Kazarian, and Jonathan Gresham for that. Whoever wins that will get a shot at the Impact World title. You do have the X Division Championship on the line, Trey Miguel versus Chris Sabin. You have Trinity making her pay-per-view debut as she'll be facing Giselle Shaw. You have the Impact Knockouts Women's Heavyweight Championship on the line. You have Jordan Grace challenging Deonna Purrazzo for that belt. If Jordan Grace loses, she can never get a title shot ever again. That is if Deonna's still champion. In the main event, of course, you have the Impact World Championship. Steve Macklin defending it against PCO. All that is happening on Friday. And, man, what a stacked show, man. Oh, man. Faction Cancer, what's going on? What is going on? The Notorious DOM, what is going on?
Guy, my brother.
My brother. Yes, that's right. Bloodline brother right there. What is going on, man? Yes. And the Subculture are a good signing. Yes, they are. They're a good signing, and I'm happy for them that Andrews and Gordon are there. Great pickup for Impact. But now that you see the card, De Niro, what are your thoughts about this Friday, and which match are you looking forward to, actually, as a matter of fact?
Yeah, that card is stacked, man. Shout out to Impact Wrestling, yo. The best kept secret in fucking professional wrestling. I don't care what anybody says. Like, damn. Always putting on quality shows every Thursday. That card is stacked. I really am interested in that number one contendership match because look at all the talent. You got your originals and Alex Shelley and Kazarian. You got some of your up-and-comers like Yuya. You have Moose, who's on the rise right now and former champion himself. You have Jonathan Gresham, former Ring of Honor champion. So a lot of talent in that matchup. Always stoked to see ABC. Big fan of Ace Austin. Big fan of Chris Bay. Love that. Main event, PCO, to be honest, I like him. I give him all the credit in the world for pulling off some of the shit that he does at his age still. But yeah, I think that it's time that we give Macklin some better opponents. Like, I'm hoping that we'll get Nick Aldis versus Macklin when Nick Aldis, in my opinion, beats Kenny King. We'll see. But definitely, it looks like a stacked show. Really excited to see the Impact. Is it her in-ring? You said her in-ring debut for Trinity?
For pay-per-view. She already made her debut for pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely excited to see Trinity because, I feel like that was a great move for her. Impact Wrestling has always had probably the best women's division with the knockouts. So, this is going to be a real make it or break it time for Trinity. I think that she's going to do great, though. So I'm excited.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited, too. I think just this card is stacked as hell. And I know that we don't barely talk about Impact. I know there's so much, in the world of professional wrestling we got to talk about. But, soon we will have something just to focus on it. I know we've been saying that, but we'll find the time and availability. But this overall, like how Bakley's mentioned, Trey and Sabin, I'm looking forward. This is Sabin's probably last opportunity to get at the exhibition title. I mean, he's already up there, age-wise, even though age is only a number. But him and Shelley, I mean, they've done tremendously great for Impact. You could say they're pretty much one of the Mount Rushmores for the tag teams. And, we could debatably speak about their singles as well. Both former I believe Alex never won the world champion, have he? Or only just
he never won the world champion. He's a multi-time X Division champion, multi-time tag champion. I definitely would say that the Motor City Machine Guns are definitely Mount Rushmore for tag teams in TNA. I would even say they're in Mount Rushmore for the X Division. I mean, if you look back at the stats, I don't think anybody been in more Ultimate X matches than Chris Sabin.
That's true.
He's been from the first one. My man was in the first Ultimate X match against Frankie Kazarian and Michael Shane. And he's been in Ultimate X matches like ever since. I think he's been like fucking 20 of them. So got to give him that Mount Rushmore spot for the X Division.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And what's going on, Justin? Get your podcast. What's going on? Make sure to subscribe and follow them, man. Appreciate you, brother, for tuning in. And even though I'm with you too, because I don't feel, and no disrespect to PCO, I don't feel like he's a big high challenger for Macklin, but I'm hoping. I mean, this is what his first title defense. Hopefully by then it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, just like Alexander did when his first run. You
gotta build it up.
Yeah, you gotta build it up for Macklin. I give him some time, but I'm happy that he is the world champion, and I feel he is underrated and it's not given what credit to do. And I'm hoping. I can't wait to see when Josh Alexander comes back, see him and Macklin. Oh, because that's the match we've been wanting to see, and I think they're gonna turn out the house once Alexander is fully recovered and he can make his return. The one thing, right now I am loving ABC. They're doing tremendously great for that tag team division. And then them being part of the Bullet Club too, and I'm still like, which side are you on? Are you the JY side or you're the New Japan side? I don't know yet. I mean, they haven't really given no explanation. I mean, but NFC will basically got to say, I see Saban winning and cashing in the title for a world title again, possibly so.
That's how he won it the first time, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is very, very true. And Trey Miguel and Saban, I think they're gonna might be the sleeper match of the card. I think that's gonna be great to see because Saban, he's still got a lot fuel left in the tank. Let's see if he can do it against Trey Miguel. That's gonna be interesting. The number one contendership. I hope it's Frankie Kazarian because I think Frankie can give a run to Macklin, and I think the story between them. I think you have the past of TNA Impact versus the future of Impact, and I feel Kazarian can run with that. Oh, what is going on? My tribal chief. What is going on? My tribal chief. Put the ones up for the tribal chief.
What up?
That's right. Clarkson Wrestling Podcast. And Trinity, I like this, feud that she's going on, with, Jay Vidal and Savannah Evans and Giselle. It's cool. I mean, it's a good start for her. I know they want to put her in the title picture already, maybe after the, Grayson Peraza match. If I feel too soon, 50-50. It's debatable, but I mean, I'd rather give, Trinity some wins, give her some competition before she even competes for that title. So, I mean, we'll see how it takes. See what J-Man got to say. PCO is a very good starting opponent for Macklin. Nothing like having your first successful title defense against a pro wrestling legend. Absolutely. But, I mean, is he a high? I don't say he's high, though. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I got some bad news for J-Man. I don't think he's ready yet. So, I mean, we'll see. We will wait and see. But, man, so make sure you tune in this Friday, starting off. Kick in with Impact Under Siege on Impact Plus, man. Support them. Give them that support. So, man, looking forward to it. All right. And then we got another one here. Oh, man. NXT Battleground coming up. And let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Want to get to the chat before. Trinity will get her shot at Bound for Glory. Most likely, yes.
I can see that, yeah.
I agree. Yep. Definitely. Are you guys talking about the second best wrestling firm? Impact Wrestling is the best kept secret in professional wrestling, how De Niro said.
It's the most consistent wrestling show. I mean, to be honest, I'd put them above the WWE as in consistent great shows. It's the most consistent show, and it's been like that for like the last 6-7 years. So definitely, I ain't arguing with that.
Oh, no, definitely. But yes, man, it's time for some NXT Battleground. It's happening that same Sunday where Double or Nothing is happening. I am questioning why they decided to do that, along with.
Oh, I know exactly why they're doing that shit.
I want to hear you break it down, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, you remember Tony Khan saying, "I'm not going to take this shit." You play the clip. You know what I mean? Because yes. I'll tell you I'll put that shit in context for you.
Okay, I will definitely play. Where are you?
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
With the okay look around, you know what I mean? Let me tell you something. The reason why I said that, to put that into context, is he was talking about, that was at All Out last year, right? Yeah. He was talking about how the WWE combated a pay-per-view for AEW All Out by putting on the same weekend their show, which was Clash at the Castle. And then on the same day as All Out, you had NXT. The buy rate for All Out was hurt because WWE had Clash at the Castle, and then the next day they had NXT earlier in the day. People don't want to sit through a full weekend of wrestling. I mean, think about that. That's a lot. If you put on a 3-hour show, in the morning and then you have to sit through a 4-hour show at night. That's a lot to sit through. So I could see WWE doing that. And, you know, I don't think it was on purpose, but AEW and All In before that showed that Memorial Day weekend is a great weekend to have wrestling, right? So WWE is capitalizing on that, and it's also hurting the AEW numbers. Not saying that's the reason why they did it, but this is the same situation where they have, what's it called? The PLE the day before, and then they have the NXT TakeOver show the day of a AEW show, and it significantly hurt that AEW number. So, I mean, if it worked, it worked. WWE is probably going to do that every fucking time AEW has a pay-per-view now.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? They can't say shit because now going forward with Collision, when WWE has their little PLEs on Saturdays, AEW has a Saturday show. So I bet you, just like, you know, you said you ain't going to take that shit, I guess they're not going to take that shit either. So.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. Hey, good valid point. Very, very good valid point. And I like what Getcho said about Impact. Is like Impact's like McDonald's. It's there when you need it, left happy. That's right. And
McDonald's fries, it's always, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And then Bagley, of course, high. And it's affordable, too, a.k.a. the value menu. Oh, it's very, very true. But, yep, many hours.
Fuck McDonald's for not having the dollar menu anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right, exactly. It's like $1.29 value meal. Now it's not like it's business. Yeah, it is the business. Absolutely, I agree. It is business, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to how this is going to turn out to be a battleground. You know, going through the card, we do have Dragon Lee versus Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup title. Well, you know, the cup, I guess, Noam Dar won a while back. Then he came back with it. Yeah, of course, Dragunov versus Dijak. I think that's going to be a banger. Oh, that's going to be a banger match. I like their feud, what they've been doing. That feud have been, you know, having as of late, and in NXT has been, oh, man, I can't wait till these guys go into the ring. I think that's going to be the match of the night. I am looking.
The visual of Dijak standing on the steel steps while Dragunov was underneath was crazy.
Oh, yeah. British round match, yes. Okay. What's going on, Brent? Sunday Fun Day. Yes, it is Sunday Fun Day here on the COD, baby. And then, of course, we do have the triple threat match for the North American title. Joe Gacy, Tyler Bate challenging Wes Lee. That's going to be another banger match because, you know, we've been noticing, you know, first team Wes Lee and Bate, and then Bate looking at the belt. See Gacy, of course, wanting that belt. So this is going to be interesting to see. And then we do have the tournament, the semifinals and the finals happening the same night to crown the new NXT Women's Champion. And, of course, you have Tiffany Stratton versus Roxanne Perez on one side, and on the other side, you have Laya Valkyrie versus Cora Jade. In the finals of that, will face each other at that same night and be crowned a new NXT Women's Champion. The main event, of course, to end this feud, hopefully. Maybe I think this is I think it's best out of three. I think this is one more match probably will happen, which we have Carmelo Hayes defending the NXT Championship versus Braun Breaker, the heelish Braun Breaker, which I am loving so far. But man, what are you excited for, De Niro? And are you impressed with this card? And you know, what's the one that you're really intrigued and invested on, especially all these matches?
There's a lot of good matches on this card. It's a stacked card, just like we talked about with Impact. First of all, love seeing Dragon Lee in NXT. I've been a Dragon Lee fan for a long time. Love this stuff in Mexico. Love this stuff in New Japan. Dope to see Dragon Lee. I think that Dragon Lee and Noam Dar are going to tear the house down. Dragunov and Dijak, that's going to be a fun one. You know they're going to beat the hell out of each other. Dragunov is a hard-hitting guy. I think that there's word about him possibly joining the main roster soon. I would love to see that. If that's the case, I would have Dijak win here, have Dragunov move up. I'm really excited for that women's tournament, right? I think that it's probably going to come down to Roxanne versus Cora. We know they feuded in the past, former tag team champions. So, sorry, my voice is going in and out. These allergies are killing me. But anyway, I think that it's definitely going to come down to Roxanne and Cora. And to be honest, to take the title off of Roxanne just to put it back on Roxanne, I wouldn't do that. I would have Cora Jade win. I think she's ready. She's ready to have a heel title run. So I'm having Cora Jade win the World Women's NXT Women's Championship. And in the main event, I know you said you want to see it go 3. I think Carmelo Hayes wins. I think that Braun Breaker, it's time to move him up. I would have Carmelo Hayes wins. Braun Breaker's last match in NXT is a loss to Hayes, and then bring him up. Bring him onto the main roster because I feel like he's ready.
Okay. Let's see what Jamie got to say. Cora Roxanne is more likely looking in the final. Cora, yeah, I think Cora is going to win that one for sure.
Most definitely.
And I like NXT, as you can basically got to say. I like NXT kept Braun down to work with his character before sitting in. Yes, he needs to work on that heelish jerk character, but the bully that he is. I mean, does it fit him? Yeah, kind of does, you know. He needs more work on his charisma. I mean, he'll get me wrong. He's there, but a little bit more. I think he needs. Carmelo has it all. I think he's a total package. No pun intended, Lex Luger. But man, I'm loving it, man. Yo, I'm with you. Allergic. Allergy season. That's right. Shout out. Okay.
Word, dirt set.
Hello. I mean, yes, hello. But yes, I'm excited for Dragunov and Dijak banger. I do see Dijak winning. I think Dijak needs to win. He hasn't won a fucking pay-per-view. Excuse me, premium live event. How JD was saying. Shout out to JD WrestleBread, but I would love to have Dijak to win. I mean, because he deserves that win. I haven't seen him won a pay-per-view event. It's been, PLE, excuse me, keep saying pay-per-view. PLE, but I'm excited for that. Dragon Lee's debut against Noam Dar in a PLE event. I'm excited for that too. Oh man, and I like that feud that we're having on this past NXT. Noam Dar, having a Spanish book. He's like, man, trying to talk to Dragon Lee in Spanish, and Dragon Lee's like, I speak English, right? I speak English better than you. He's like, oh crap, I bought this $20 fucking how to speak Spanish for nothing, And Dragon Lee Spanish, English is very well, so Dragon Lee can speak English properly. I'm excited for that. The triple threat. Oh, I might throw a curveball here. Matt's not here, but I got a feeling Joe Gacy might walk out with the North American title. I got a feeling because Schism needs something. Right now, it's dying out. They're not doing much with them. I know that the other two guys are planning to leave already. I think they put the release, but it was denied. So I could tell they're not really happy, and I could tell they've been jobbing out of some late in NXT. But they need something to going, and I think Joe Gacy's the guy for that, to go with it. Yep. So, Jesus, see, Dragunov feels like he's ready to, Yeah, I think so too. I think Dragunov is ready to go to the main roster. I think he has the absolute potential to do it. Gacy will win now, and he's putting himself first. Yes, and I will love that. I think he'll put himself first along with Ava Raine. I don't mind seeing that, and then having him little small disciples here and there for Schism. But I feel Joe Gacy might be the guy to actually catch us off guard and actually win. So I'll be like, oh my god, So I'm looking forward to see how that's going to turn out. Now the women's, something it's too soon for Stratton. I don't think he should go over. I know people are like, why? What the fuck? No, Stratton is too soon for her.
Still very green, yeah.
Way green, man. Like, look what happened with her and Sol Ruka. She injured Sol Ruka during the match. Sol Ruka got injured, and I'm like, come on. It's like, and then her moonsaults are not accurate. And it's like, it's scary. Something like, oh, you cringe. You're like, oh, shit. Gonna fuck her up. But Laya Valkyrie, is she ready? I don't think she's ready either. It has to be Cora and Roxanne. And I hope Cora, I think it's her moment. I think it's her time for her to become the NXT Women's Champion. The opportunity was there. I know they chose, Roxanne over her. Fine. But I think you need a heel champion as of right now, and Cora Jade is a perfect fit for that. And I think Cora Jade could run with it as well. You need the chase to be more exciting. Like I said, I respect Roxanne, love her career. You mentioned her credentials, former Ring of Honor Women's Champion, but I think it's better for her to chase the belt instead of having it right now because it kind of builds her character. I don't know. You feel the same, but I feel that she needs that. Gacy will win now. Let's see. Okay, definitely interested in seeing Joe Gacy. Yeah, it would be interesting, and I think Gacy needs that belt. So we will wait and see what happens with that for sure. But man, that's Battleground, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure on the cock on Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, and 7 o'clock Central Time. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, they're gonna battle probably with the first 1 hour and a half against Double or Nothing because Double or Nothing is gonna be like
8 hours.
8 hours, fucking 8 hours. I mean, but
I got a quick question for you.
yeah.
You know, looking at his picture like right below me, I gotta ask, what do you think Donovan or Dominic Dijak is missing? Because he's a guy who was, you know, he tore it up in the Indies, tore it up in Ring of Honor, came over to NXT, was a part of NXT Black and Gold, did amazing, had some bangers with Keith Lee. Everyone thought he was next up. Gets called up. He's in that stupid Retribution gimmick, T-Bar or Teabag, whatever his name was. And then he goes back down, and now he's in this gimmick, but he's still back to where he was, if you think about it, 4 years ago, still in NXT. What do you think he's missing, and what could take him to the next level? Because he has the size, he has the talent, you know what I mean? He's a fucking talented son of a bitch, and he's a big-ass dude. So what is he missing? Is it the mic work?
I think it's more finding himself as a character. I think that's what he's missing. I think that's the only thing that it's not attracting the audience. Let's say they would have left him how we've known him in NXT, right? That you mentioned about him and Keith Lee, their feud, right? And then him. Let's say if we did not put him in that Retribution, how do you think the audiences will be attracted to him just for him being himself? Yeah, you know, Dijakovic, annoying Vincent Kennedy McMahon. You're like, nobody can pronounce that Dijakovic. No, it's called Dijak.
I think he should have been Dijak all along because in Ring of Honor he was just Donovan Dijak, and I thought that was fine enough. You know what I mean? Adding the Kovic or Dijakovic shit was a little too weird to add that. You want to make names easier so people can remember. You don't want to make them harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And basically saying that he needs a manager. They should keep him in this character. They should have kept him in the first character he was, which was the first character was just himself, right? I mean, I'm trying to remember, but like that was right. I mean,
badass Croatian,
yeah. I actually like that character. Do you feel that it could have been a run with it if in the main roster with that character? Do you feel that it could be? What do you think?
I mean, I think I liked his original character. You know, the Feast Your Eyes thing. I think that this Terminator character is pretty cool too. But I agree with Bakley. I think that if he had a mouthpiece, you know, I'm not necessarily saying give him, you know, Paul Heyman, but if he had a mouthpiece, if he had I don't know, like
MVP, I would say.
Yeah, that would be cool. Imagine if they put him with someone like Paul Ellering. You know, we saw what Paul Ellering did for AOP. That would have been a good, little tangent. But I think that he definitely is, you know, missing something. He's got all the talent in the world, and he has the size. Vince McMahon loves fucking big-ass guys. You know what I mean? Vince McMahon loves them big, meaty men, right?
Meaty men, he loves them.
I just thought it was interesting to bring up because you know what? When I first started podcasting, I had a show and it was only on AEW and NXT. And back in 2019, when they started this, right, and I was watching Dijakovic versus Keith Lee, I brought up the same topic with my former co-host. I was like, you know, what is he missing? And the fact that I'm still having that same conversation 4 years later, that says, you know, I mean, a little progression there.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, man. I don't know what's really missing, to be honest. I'm trying to figure it out myself, too. What is missing with this man? I don't know if it's character. I like this character. I know he just needs to develop it more. He's like it's like I don't want to kind of compare him to it, but fuck it is what it is. I mean, it's like Macklin. Macklin, you know how Steve Macklin is more like your Punisher guy. He has that character. I feel Dijak is heading like almost similar to that, but I think something different. I don't know. I can't base him on like a Punisher. I don't know. Can we say like more an assassin type of style? It's just it's crazy. I don't. Yeah, it's difficult. You know, let's see what Jamie got to say. Dijak just needs a solid character, and it feels like he's found it. There you go. The big boss man like character that kept him in NXT a bit longer to build character. Possibly so, yeah, but he's not a former cop. I mean, that's the thing, J-Man. He is not a former cop.
Or he ain't from Cobb County.
Yeah, you know, he ain't from Georgia County Jail, you know, like how, you know, Big Boss Man was legitimately from a guard in Georgia County Jail. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know, man. That's gonna be a good topic to talk about soon, man. I hope this whatever character he has now develops better. You know, honestly, he would have fit with the family, with Joe Gacy and
He could be their muscle. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, that should have been happening. That could have been their muscle. That's their muscle. And you have the both Dons, and then you have your muscle there. I hope they put him there one day. I hope they do. And I think, let's say if they package them three to the main roster, they will fit perfect. I think will fit perfect. I think it'll be great. Just having that.
Gacy being the mouthpiece of the group, that'll be.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm with you 100%. Let's see. Macklin was a military, so he resonates with. Okay. That makes sense, Bakley. There you go. Yeah, that's why he was in the military. That's why it kind of fits him as a Punisher type of style. Wasn't Punisher in the military too? Wasn't he in the military? Something. I mean,
something like that.
Something like that, right? But man, I'm excited for it, man. Do you also feel like this is going to be over now between Braun Breaker and Carmelo? Do you feel like it's going to have one more match?
No, yeah, like I said, I think that they should end it here and then just have someone come up because I think both of them they should have been up. I think both are ready. And I don't think Braun Breaker as a heel is bad. I think Braun Breaker as a babyface is the way to go with him right now. You know, if you want him to get some heel work, then you got to dye the chin hair blonde. You got to put the chains on the head. You got to call him, big, nephew pump. And that's it. You're good.
Big nephew pump. I love that. Oh, I love it. All right. Now it's time for more predictions. It's not over, man. We got more. We got the Night of Champions. That's what we got. But we're going to start off, of course, with the Women's Championship. That's what we're going to do. The Night of Champions right here. Happening Saturday also on the Cock, PLE. And I believe that was at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock noon Central, and 10 a.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time. Jesus Christ, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, of course, because
I didn't really have your coffee.
I know. I got to be bright and early for that. Yes, there you go. Yes, that's where, the family. I think that would have been perfect for Dijak's character. Yes, being that crooked cop. Yeah, okay. With you that 100%, J-Man. But man, let's get into the card of Night of Champions. This is by far what is announced. I know we still got Raw coming up. I know they pre-taped SmackDown for this Friday because they're all going to Saudi anyway. So we're not spoiling that. We're not Seltzer. We're not Alvarez. We're not Wade Keller. I didn't even read it. I don't want to know about it. I'd rather just be a fan and watch it just like everyone else here. But, we got Raw coming up. I don't know what other things they're going to spice up. Maybe they're going to add an additional match. Maybe so. There's room in your windows. They might add Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch towards it. I'm not sure yet. But this is a card that we have so far. So we're going to start up with this one. The Raw Women's Championship matchup. Bianca Belair defending the title versus Asuka. Of course, we saw the Asuka turn the heel turn. But it looks like it's the opposite of way. I don't know if you've been paying attention to SmackDown as of late. The crowd looks like, I think we might see a feature. We called it a while back that we're going to see Bianca turning heel. Maybe this is the beginning of it. Because I feel like the crowd is more with Asuka. I mean, I know maybe my television is wrong, or I don't know what the hell's going on. But this match I think is going to be solid. Of course, Bianca's going to retain. But I think this is going to probably push the edge for Bianca to lose it. Like, fuck that. Like, just for her to just, like, go crazy. But who knows? What are your thoughts, Nero? Who do you got at this one on Night of Champions?
I think that this could go one or two ways. I mean, obviously, there's only two ways this could go. But in my opinion, I think that it's time to pull a heel turn with Bianca. She just broke the record, right? Have Bianca continue to keep shit fresh by being a heel and embracing that heel role, right? Maybe the Street Profits turn with her. They could be new heels, something like that. But I think that Bianca needs to switch it up and do something fresh. And she continues this historic title run as a heel. Or, if you want to keep her as a babyface, I think Asuka's due a title. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Asuka takes the title from her. If you wanted Bianca to go down in history, she already broke the record for the longest women's title run. So now that she broke it, why not pull the trigger, give it to Asuka? I think Asuka deserves it. But I wouldn't be mad because I'm a big Bianca fan, so I wouldn't be mad if she wins.
Ooh, okay. All right. Love it. Oh, man, I can't wait. I'm excited for that for sure. All right. Then we caught, of course, the Intercontinental Championship on the line. We did see what happened this past Raw. That happened, the Battle Royal that Mustafa Ali won and earned his title shot at Night of Champions versus Gunther. And man, we know why. Of course, it's Saudi. It's, the Middle East. Of course, it's Mustafa Ali's, side of town. Of course, he gets popped. But what about oh no, I think you said it right. Oh, so I think you said it right. What about what's his face? What's his fucking name? The guy who's with Jesus Christ. You know what I'm talking about? Yes.
Mansoor or whatever he calls himself.
Yeah, Mansoor. Mansoor. I don't think he's able to go back anytime soon, and not with that character.
Probably not with that character.
No, yeah. Looks like they're probably disappointed.
Fully adapted to that American lifestyle.
Oh, but let's see what Jamie got to say. People were calling an Asuka's return misattack a heel turn, but must forgot that Asuka was going to get booed, but she's being attacked in Knox. Okay. But yes, we got Gunther and Mustafa Ali for the Intercontinental Championship match. I'll go right away. Of course, Gunther. But I feel this match is. I think we're going to see a lot more of Mustafa. Something tells me, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, De Niro, but I feel that we're going to see the indie side of Mustafa Ali and Gunther on this one. I hope we do.
Yeah.
Besides the entertainment side, I hope we get to see more of, like, give me that PWG, give me that Ring of Honor, give me that indie type of style from both of these individuals. And I think Mustafa's going to put a hell of a show. I hope he does. But, knowing his entertainment side, you got to smile, be number one, Mustafa Ali. Gunther's going to be chopping the hell out of him. Chop-a-mania is going to be happening, running wild. But Gunther, of course, gets the win. But I hope this match, besides being the entertainment side, I hope we get to see the indie side. So I don't know what are your take on this, De Niro? And who do you got?
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a great matchup. I know that I really enjoyed the Gunther matches against Ricochet, right? Him going against like a high flying smaller opponent. So I think that this is going to be right up there with that. I said it on Raw Dogging with Mike De Niro here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. I said that I would have loved if this was Bronson Reed. He was in the last two people of that thing. If it was Bronson Reed versus Gunther, that would have been a fucking banger. But we understand why we're not getting that matchup right now. We understand why that they went with Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali's going to show out. He's going to get a good amount of offense in, but in the end, Gunther's going to chop the shit out of him, and that's it.
Yeah.
Wins.
Man. Sucks. But oh well. It is what it is. All right. Let me see here. What do we got? J-Man got to say? Hey, Ali and Gunther's going to be a great match, but definitely don't see Ali, of course. Nah. No way. But I hope he'll could steal the show. Who knows? Maybe so. All right. And then, of course, we got Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes, Mr. Adversity. How would JD would say on WrestleBread podcast. But man, we've seen this feud already. The promos that Cody threw out, especially this past Raw, that past, you're no longer in my league, you're in my way. All this crap on me. It's solid, but I'm not convinced. But I hope we get Cody to win again. But do it. Okay, he did it clean, right? Whatever. I guess it's clean. I hope this one could be better clean. A pin, actual, like, you hit your finisher and he doesn't kick out. And that's it. I want to see that. And I think Lesnar, what else is next for him to do? He's just getting a paycheck. I don't think Lesnar, does he care about this win? I don't think so. Does he need this win? No, he doesn't. I don't feel he needs to win. We need to see more of like I've been saying it. I said it like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I said it. We need to see that ruthless aggression. We got to see that ruthless aggression of Cody Rhodes so he can be more hungry for the chase. But yeah, I got Cody, man. But I just don't feel Lesnar needs to win. It makes no sense because then if he does win, then we're gonna get a trilogy. I think we are gonna get a trilogy, but at Money in the Bank, most likely. But I say Cody, but I don't know who you got, De Niro. And what are your take on? I know you covered it on Raw, on Raw, dogging with De Niro, ladies and gentlemen. So, what are your thoughts about his promo, and what do you got winning?
Cody's promo was fire. Cody knows how to sell people on a matchup. Because like I said, I wasn't convinced on this going for another matchup until Cody's promo, and I'm like, yeah, now I'm excited for it. Cody does that. He's a hell of a talker. I think personally, like, not to disagree, but I think that Brock doesn't need the win, but Cody needs the loss. And I think that if you're going to, like I said, go with the, well, Brian, you're going to hate this answer.
What's going on, Brian?
Cody needs to lose, and I'll tell you why. I feel like you're going to really need to break him down and build him back up until WrestleMania 40 if they are still going to go with Cody versus Roman 2. And the reason why I say that is if you just keep him strong, if you just have him beat Brock Lesnar and you keep him on top and you have him go all the way another year with the same character without having adversity, like JD would say, then Cody's going to go stale. And I guarantee you, just like in AEW, when the fans start to boo him, that's going to happen. So you're going to need to keep him special, right? And how do you do that? You have him lose. You keep him, a little humble, right? And then you have Cody eventually come back. He beats Brock Lesnar clean. But what's interesting about Cody Rhodes winning here? What's interesting about Cody Rhodes winning and staying on top for a whole nother year? It's going to get stale. So you keep it fresh by having him lose and having to build back up. If you're just beating the fucking beast, Brock Lesnar is a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. If Cody beats the beast twice in a row, then what do you do from him? What do you do for him to keep him hot until, next year's Mania? I know there's talks about him winning the Money in the Bank or him winning the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row. And as cool as that sounds, I feel like Cody will get stale if he continues this character with no adversity, if he's just constantly winning. So I think you need to break him down a little bit more so we could have hard times with Cody Rhodes. And then Cody Rhodes eventually breaks out of it, breaks through, and becomes the world champion. But you don't get that if Cody Rhodes just wins everything. You got to break it down. We need a Cody that's desperate. We need a Cody who is, ready to do whatever it takes to win a matchup. And I feel like if you just beat Brock Lesnar, we're not going to get that. You know what I mean? Have him get destroyed. I don't even want this to be a match. Have Brock Lesnar fucking squash him like he did Cena at fucking SummerSlam. Hit him with a couple suplexes, hit him with a damn F5, destroy Cody Rhodes. And then Cody Rhodes has to claw his way back. And now he knows what Brock is capable of. He's going to have to do whatever he can against Brock Lesnar the next time they face. Maybe it's SummerSlam. Maybe it's Money in the Bank. But Cody Rhodes needs to lose this matchup. We need hard times, baby.
Oh, man. I can't debate that. It's kind of difficult to debate that. But let's see what J-Man got to say. In my personal opinion, ready for this to be over. Cody needs to win. And at this point, put him in the Money in the Bank and have him cash in at SummerSlam to win the titles.
Everything I just said.
Oh, man. I get you. I mean, it makes sense. But then that's going to be stagnant too. Having him to break down and then, him keep losing and then, then coming back and then started winning again. Then prolonging this. That's the thing. Prolonging this man's run where he needs to go is questionable. How can he be booked? I mean, I get your point. I just feel that it should be like I'm with Justin on this. I mean, just get over with. Put that man over. Fuck it. Let him be. But I don't see him. I don't know. It's tough, man. This is really tough. Jesus, man.
To be honest, I think what would make it special is if Cody Rhodes continues to lose and lose and lose, and it eventually breaks him. He tried to do things the right way. It didn't work. So now he's going to do things his way. And we see more of a heel Cody Rhodes. And then that could be what keeps it fresh. Because I'm still of the belief, and I'm going to tell you this right now, and then people have been looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm still of the belief that if you want Roman to go another 400 or 500 days, you could do it. But you got to make Roman a babyface. You got to switch it up a little bit. And what better way to do it than the heel Cody Rhodes versus the babyface Roman Reigns? Different than last year's Mania at this year's Mania. I think that there's a way to do it without making it, campy, but There's a way to keep it fresh.
Okay. We'll wait and see how that's going to turn out to be, man. That's we'll keep an eye on Cody Rhodes, on Mr. Adversity. We'll keep an eye on him for sure. All right. And then, of course, I feel this should be the co-main event because it should be. And, of course, we're going to crown a new world heavyweight champion. So the finals were set as he has Seth freaking Rollins versus a phenomenal one, AJ Styles. I know you said it last week. You don't mind AJ winning, but do you stick with that still, or do you change your mind? Who do you have on this one?
It's hard because, like I said, I am a huge AJ Styles fan. Been that way for the last 2 decades, right? First time I seen AJ Styles was the Asylum years for TNA, and ever since I was a huge fan of his. But for the sake of having a world champion on Raw, for the sake of, having a world champion that is someone who right now is on the top of his game. Not saying AJ isn't, but right now I think that you got to give that belt to Seth. Seth is on the top of his game. Seth has been killing it every single feud he's in, and I think you got to reward him. This title's made for someone like Seth Rollins.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Me too. Okay. I said it last week. Rollins is the guy. Look what. Okay. Remember I said that Rollins has to be the guy now because you need him to market the product. Look what's going on now. He's in a fucking Captain America movie. He's going to be in the Captain America movie. That's the start. That's why this man needs to win that belt. I love AJ. I'm with you too. It hurts my heart to say AJ losing, but Rollins is the guy. Rollins is the guy, and you need to put him over as world champion. You need that second face for the WWE along with Roman Reigns. You need Seth Rollins to do it. He paid his dues. He lost tremendously last year, constantly to now being, lovable with and now where he's at now. I think he needs this win. And like I said, he is the face of. He's gonna be the face along with Roman in the WWE, and this is gonna be a banger match, man. I hope this steals the show. I hope it does. Any of these dudes can take it. Yeah, me too, man. I'm with you too, but I love you, AJ, but you're not that guy, pal. He's that guy, Notorious Dom. But the thing is, not for this belt. Not yet.
That runs the camp.
Yeah, exactly. I
don't think my whole life, I ever went against AJ for a matchup.
I know, right?
I never said, hey, I like AJ, but I'd rather this guy win. Never. No matter who it is. AJ could go against The Rock, Stone Cold, and fucking Shawn Michaels in a handicap match. I'm like, yo, AJ's that man. I gotta go with AJ.
Yeah. And we have to. Oh, man. Oh, this is the first time we're going against AJ, man. Sucks. Me too. I've never gone against AJ ever.
Now, if AJ Styles watching this and then he wins, he's gonna be like, "Fuck yeah!"
I know, right? He's gonna block us on fucking Twitter.
You disloyal bitches.
He's gonna fucking block us for that shit. So, what's going on, Lennox? Appreciate you for tuning in, brother. Hell yeah. But Rollins has been the way. Yeah, yes, he has. He has been the way for the goat work. Absolutely, Justin. All right, main event, of course, the undisputed tag team championship match. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens defending the undisputed world tag team championships versus the Bloodline, with Tribal Chief Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. We've been seeing trouble in paradise with these men. Even with that bump, like, oh shit, sorry. And
about to spike the Roman.
Right? I thought he was going to spike Roman. Who do you got, man? Do you feel that the Usos could cost them the match? Or do you feel they're going to lose? Or Solo's going to lose for Roman and Roman snaps on Solo? What do you see happening?
I personally see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn winning the matchup. I see the Usos trying to help, like maybe Jimmy and Jay. The referee gets knocked down. Jimmy and Jay gets into the ring. They go to double super kick Sami Zayn. Sami ducks. They hit Roman instead accidentally. And then you got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn walking out with the tag team titles, but now Roman Reigns wants to kill the Usos, and you can have that as the next feud. Roman and Solo versus the Usos. You really want to implode the bloodline? That would be a crazy-ass tag matchup. You could do that shit at Night of Champions, but I don't think that Roman and Solo are going to win that match. I think that the Usos are going to cost them, but not on purpose. I think it's going to be an accident, and then they're going to have to explain themselves to the tribal chief, and that's not going to go well. So,
I know. I feel like I'm with you. I feel the same. I feel that they're going to mess it up for the tribal chief and how you said, and then I think that's when we see him, see all that happening. But, man, I'm excited. Let's see how it turns out to be, man. I am definitely stoked and excited. Speaking of excitement, it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to get into it. We are going to get into it. But first, I got to bring this man in, of course. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. The man himself.
You could still use the Don Callis intro. I'll turn heel with him. I don't need.
Oh, you traitor!
Drivers.
I'm not a
traitor. Just for that, yes, I'm playing. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The traitor, the backstabber, the invisible hand of podcasting is here. Matt Callis, ladies and gentlemen.
Look, I'm backstabbing Kenny Omega with a nail. I'm backstabbing him with this little nail file. It's like he could have been more brutal, like bring in all the guys. A little side note: Nick Wayne, somebody we've met at PCW. He's going to be making his debut with DDT Wrestling, wow. It's going to be it's a big deal. So it's a nice trade. Maybe we should get Chris Brooks and Konosuke Takeshita. Let's get both of them. I think they'd be a great. They should change the name though. If Don Callis becomes part of the BCC, they could. I don't know, the Don Callis Combat Club. I don't know. Just go. He should lean into it full heel. I'm a bad guy too now.
The DCCC, the Don Callis Combat Club.
Yeah, Don Callis.
The D Triple C. That's what you got called.
The D Triple C.
DC to the third power.
I love that. Oh yeah, and shout out to Bonkers LFC. What are we doing? What are we WWE doing with Roman Reigns' belt in the next women's tag team? I just want to make one belt for Roman and put a Don and Fire in the title match and unify the tag team titles. One belt. Hi, I'm new here. Well, welcome if you're high. Forget to subscribe to the Blind Entertainment Network and COD. We appreciate you for tuning in, my brother. But, man, it is that time, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the director won't be joining us today because he had a little things that happened. But he will hopefully join us on Monday. But it's that time, and you know the time. Yes, it is, baby.
It's time! It's time! It's Vader!
Dynamite that happened 96 hours ago. So we're on the road and heading into Double or Nothing. And, man, I'm excited. Oh, what the hell happened here? So let me see. But, yes, I am excited for Dynamite, of course. Man, a lot of things, man. As we're heading to Double or Nothing, I'm fully excited to see what the hell's going to happen here. But, man, we got to get into the matches before we even get into any segments of it. So we're going to start it off, of course, with Big Bill. And I call him Big, but it is Big, yeah. Bill, whatever you want to give him a call. As him and Lee Moriarty versus Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy. And by the way, this is the first time these guys team up on television.
Yeah.
They never teamed. I mean, they teamed up in a house show. I think Tony Schiavone was mentioning in that. If you guys got the commercial-free one, you can hear them talk after they actually mentioned that. So I was like, okay, all right. Interesting. But this match was great, solid. Enjoyed it. Honestly, I could see Darby and Orange be a hell of a tag team running for those tag team belts. I could see that happening. It's crazy to see these two guys team. I never Never thought about seeing them team up together at all. Like, and this happened, and we got spoiled, ladies and gentlemen. They teamed up. I was like, yeah, all right. But it was a good opening match. I enjoyed it. It was awesome, great. A shout out to Big Bill, man. He sold a lot. He did sell a lot, and especially for that DDT, man. Look, there's a lot of things he could do with these two, the Firm. Well, they're no longer the Firm now. It's just Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. But I feel that he could do a lot of things. They have potential to do wonders. And heck, I would even give Big Bill the fucking TNT title. I wouldn't mind him having a run. Why the hell not? Tony Khan's fucking booking, man. I don't know how that's the only thing that I'm really upset over. Not using him properly, damn it. Not using him properly. Yes. Oh, fitting that Death Row shirt. Oh, that's right. You wearing that Death Row shirt or something, Matt? Is that you wearing it?
I wish I was.
No, De Niro was the one wearing the Death Row. There you go.
Back.
Well, take it away, Matt Callis. What do you got on this opening matchup?
So the most unknown person out of this match is Lee Moriarty. And I think this should definitely be the match for Lee Moriarty to kind of show off, what he could do, who he is. Because Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Big Bill, they're all very established names. Big Cass made his debut in WWE. I don't know. I don't need an exact date, but what time was it around? How many years ago was that Big Cass with Enzo More?
Man, I was 2017, right? 2017, 2016, around there.
Oh, and then think about the indie years before that. So Liam Moriarty is a spring chicken out of this bunch. So in my opinion, because there's already Big Shotty Lee Johnson. I don't know what's going on with him, but people, it's easy to get those two guys confused. So Lee Moriarty needs to do something to stand out from Lee Johnson. Okay, Lee Johnson's the babyface, I'm the heel. I need a different gimmick he needs a different gimmick of some kind. It's good that he's a bad guy. It's good that he's got green hair, but I don't know what he might need to do something about that Lee name, maybe El Moriarty or something like that. As for Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, I could definitely see them as tag champions after Orange loses that belt, because Darby's pretty decent with promos, and the fact that they're both smaller dudes could mean that they both work in that context. It's what's a tag team of two really small guys? Maybe Spike Dudley and some other cruiserweight, Spike Dudley and Rey Mysterio, or can you guys think of a small guy tag team? Like babyface small guy tag team.
Motor City Machine Guns.
Motor City Machine Guns, okay. There's a little bit of high flying that both of these guys do. They're not 100% flyers, but they got some top rope moves that they could do. That's cool. They're not mainly back flippers, but they got some good defense, offensive moves, that Stun Dog Millionaire and the other stuff that Darby does. So I think definitely see that. And I agree, Ivan, with Big Bill being the international champion or the TNT champion. He's got a lot of experience, and I think he could build up a lot of babyface as a heel tag champion.
I'm with you 100%, man. I just he needs better booking. I'm hoping they can book these two guys very, 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 very well.
So mute too. Did he ever cut any promos on his own back in his WWE days? Did they ever give him mic time?
They did, but it was never good.
Yeah. Well, he's got his chance now to show himself these days. He's got the school of Eddie Kingston promos.
He cut some good promos in Impact. I gotta say, he definitely got better with his Impact promos. Which, by the way, he should definitely be W. Morrissey and not Big Bill. Sounds like a fucking little kid's Nick Jr. show.
I remember Little Bill.
Little Bill all grown up.
All grown up and committing crimes and now serving time. No, but man. I gotta say, I guess if he could do that, if he could cut some decent promos in Impact, I don't know. I guess the only thing is limited is if WWE, I mean, will give up that name. Like, how badly does WWE want to hold on to the W Morrissey name? Like, no, it's worth every penny.
No, well, no, that I think he decided to change it.
Okay.
Yeah. W Morrissey, he decided to change it. But in WWE, he was Big Cass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna want Big Cass. I mean, he doesn't want to be recognized as that. I think
Or
he
W-
really reinvented himself, like in Impact. To be honest, I feel like Impact did kind of help him in a bit, and I'm happy for him where he's at. You know, mentally, physically. You know, he's clean, and you know he's about to get married, and so I'm happy for him. The guy deserves. You know, he think he deserves better booking. He has toned up really great, and I feel he has the potential, and they can do something with him for sure.
I'll say this repeatedly because I haven't seen it as of yet, but I have not seen Pac or Kenny against the really big. I think they're cool against super heavyweights because the fact that both Kenny and Pac are like top guys. I've been wanting to see them against like your Lance Archers and your Jake Hagers and your Big Bills and your Samoa Joes, like all the super heavyweight tall dudes, big dudes, thick dudes, all that good stuff. I want to see him against them. Because Pac's a high flyer. He's a little bit smaller, but he's like, you know, built muscularly, and he's got like the big man, top guy attitude. And Kenny is about like average height, muscular body. I want to see how he does with Big Bill or Lance Archer or Jake Hager, you know. So I'm still waiting on those matches. I haven't seen them against the tall dudes yet, and I'm still waiting on it.
Okay. De Niro, take it away. What are your thoughts about this opening tag team matchup?
I thought it was a lot of fun, and I think that there's a lot of good chemistry for Darby and Orange. I'm all for making them a full-time tag team, but I mean, I feel like Orange Cassidy is playing like roulette. Like, who's my tag partner this week? It was just Bandito. It was the Best Friends. It was Danhausen. Now it's Darby. If you want to run with this as a tag team, I'm all for it, but you got to keep that as a tag team. And then where does Sting fit in with this? I agree.
Keep it as a tag team. Run with it. This is probably the best one though, I gotta say, out of the group, because they've both been there since day one. So
no, yeah, I agree. I think that they would make a good tag team. I mean, think about the matches that they could have with like the likes of the Bucks. Even FTR versus Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin would be fun. This matchup was fun though. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Big Bill selling for smaller guys. Like, I want to see Big Bill be like a fucking monster, just run through people. But I'm not mad at it. I think that they make a good team, Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. I like them a whole lot more than I like Big Cass and Enzo. But definitely like this team. I just want to see them do something with them because Big Bill's super talented, like we just said. But Lee Moriarty, he's a guy who, you know, this was a guy that was when Bryan Danielson and John Moxley were talking about putting together a team. He was one of the guys that they mentioned. Lee Moriarty is a really good technical wrestler. He has good personality. He's good on the mic, and he's fun to watch. So I want to see them really do something with Lee Moriarty because he's the man. But overall, good matchup. Love the chemistry between Darby and Orange. And, yeah, I think that they should run them as a team. You know, maybe Darby loses at Double or Nothing, and then we see them as a team.
I gotta give one more punch while it's down, while the opponent's down. I gotta get one more kick in while it's dead. But I'll say this, you know, not a curveball. I don't know. Maybe this is not really a. Maybe.
You got a Tim Wakefield in you?
I have the ball somewhere, but this isn't really a curveball. I don't know. I'll let you guys determine if this is a curveball or not. But I'll say, you're getting the glove. So Lee Moriarty, for those who don't know or not familiar with the Sherlock Holmes franchise, Moriarty is Sherlock Holmes's main archenemy, his nemesis, like his equal in every way. So I think like either a Sherlock Holmes like gimmick wrestler or a wrestler who is named Sherlock or Sherlock Holmes or just Holmes. Maybe they get Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. Somebody who's got Holmes in their name or Sherlock could rival with Moriarty because, you know, that when you think of Moriarty, you think of like the ultimate nemesis of like the evil genius, you know?
The fuck?
There you go, Holmes.
Holmes, Sherlock Holmes.
All right. Then we got the women's tag team matchup here. We do have Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida versus the Outcasts, Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. And of course, with the interference of Saraya, of course, the Outcasts with the win. Spraying Britt Baker, of course, with the green spray. But then, of course, the attack. No Jamie Hayter, but because she was injured. But we did get later on that segment, of course, Toni Storm calling out Jamie Hayter challenging for the AEW Women's title, which we didn't know that's going to happen. It's already set for Double or Nothing, but man, it was okay. It's crazy to see two former nemesis aligning with each other. And what I tripped out is, why was she not on the floor? While Britt was coming out, she was just on the floor, and then she got up, and like, oh man, what the hell's going on there? But
Trip.
yeah, right. I think she probably tripped. I don't know, but man, it was okay. I actually enjoyed it. Good. Great. I just hope women gets booked more, man. But we'll get into that announcement coming up right after this. But yeah, man, I enjoyed it. Give us your take, Matt Callis. What was your thoughts about this tag team women's matchup?
Okay, so for the match overall, it really reminded me of a good chunk of the matches, like your Raw or SmackDown matches during the Alliance Invasion angle, because a lot of those finishes were either interference or either like a slow counting referee interference from help from the outside of an Alliance member, roll up, they got their hand on the tights, foot on the rope, that kind of legs on the rope, that kind of thing. And the Alliance got a lot of their victories this way. This is basically the Alliance in the form of 3 women. So this kind of reminds it, like, they're not the NWO, but if anything, they're a lot more like, they remind me of the Alliance more, like the WCW, ECW Alliance, maybe like, and not even women's alliance. I'd say more like men's alliance. Like if this was like Dudley Boys with Stacy Keibler, or I don't know, Chris Kanyon, Diamond Dallas Page with the help of Shane McMahon or something like that it's that kind of psychology. Hikaru Shida, I love the new look. And the new music. Oh, it's so, because if you guys didn't know, since her Japan days, she's used the same theme song, I think since a few months after her debut with that traditional samurai music. And this is the first time it's changed in all of those years. God, I think she debuted maybe 2011 or 2008 or something. Like, it was way back. And she had and I think it was soon after that she started using that samurai theme. So it's a big deal. It's only just now, only in the last a few months, that she has this intense new theme. I like the new theme way better. I got to get it on my phone. Yeah. It's a good theme. It kicks ass. It's a very intense babyface theme. This theme is so good. It could earn her another title reign. Not a long one, but another one. Maybe like about half the time. Maybe a few months. Maybe a 3-month reign. She's that kind of champion. Her and Saraya at Wembley. That'll be a good match.
I agree. That would be a really good matchup. As for this matchup, I thought the matchup was good. I love Saraya's work on the outside. I forgot who she was attacking. I think she was attacking Britt. And like she was beating her down, and then when the referee looked, she was like, "She's attacking me! She's attacking me!"
a very alliance. But
yeah, good heel work for sure.
The psychology was pretty good, though. They've really established themselves as heels.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely enjoyed the matchup a lot. Overall, though, I like the fact that Toni Storm is staying in now. I was hoping we didn't get Saraya versus Jamie Hayter. I don't know why I drew a blank there. I was hoping we didn't get that until Wembley. So I'm glad that Toni Storm is getting the title shot here, because Toni Storm, really good wrestler. And then her whole title reign, she was just the interim champion. And she had a hell of a women's title reign. So I'm glad that she's getting a shot here against the champion, Jamie Hayter.
Guess what, guys? I think it's time for curveball.
Oh, here we go.
I got one.
Ready?
gloves, right? Like you could just use your hands.
All right, hold on. Before you do anything, I gotta hit it.
Oh yeah.
Curveball from Metcalf. Go ahead.
So, here we go. Who's got it? That's my Ricky Vaughn. The wild thing, Ricky Vaughn. No, so my curveball is I think it would be cool if maybe they have this would be a good opportunity during the match. We could, instead of interference from the Outcast, we could have interference. I keep on looking for reasons to bring her in. Mayu Iwatani interfering in the match in order for Jamie to retain or something, like because that's a history that goes way back. Like because right now Tony is a heel 100%. Tony used to be such an honorable babyface that she didn't feel like she earned the Stardom title because she won the title only because Mayu was injured. Mayu Iwatani was injured and she couldn't continue. She broke her ankle while like doing a spot, kind of like a skin the cat type spot out of the ropes in Stardom. She either broke her leg or broke her ankle. So I think Mayu, there's some unfinished business there. Like they had the rematch and either Mayu or Tony, I think Tony won and she felt like she finally earned the title. But now maybe Mayu could think like you've lost all honor. I want to see if I could teach you how to regain your honor or something like that. And it's like an opportunity, for her to come in. Mayu's the current IWGP Women's Champion, and she just beat Mercedes Moné just very recently. So she's very relevant in the world of wrestling, like across all promotions. So it could be a good lead up to Forbidden Door. I think that way you could have Mayu and Tony, and there's a long story there, and they could use the footage from Stardom to show so you could see the past Tony Storm when she was like a rookie starting out,
AEW using footage, not gonna happen.
Very true. Very, very true.
They used it before for Kenny. They've used it for Kenny, and they've used it for for Moxley, and they've used some of it, but I think this would be this is the opportunity that I hope that they kind of shoot for. It's a good opening up for Forbidden Door because I don't know how many matches Blood and Guts is going to have upcoming, so it all depends.
Well, we're gonna get into that after we're doing Dynamite. We're gonna get into Double or Nothing. The predictions for that for sure. But man, good curveball. Hey, you know what? I don't know. That's a good quote.
I mean, especially with Forbidden Door last year, if you remember with Forbidden Door, we didn't have new Stardom talent on the show. I think if you want to keep it fresh, that's a great idea.
I absolutely agree.
Mercedes is on that roster at the moment, so it would be.
What did you say for the stadium show in August?
Yeah, they could do that. They gotta have her debut for then, so it could be explosive, and then we could tie all those storylines in. Because Mayu out of the three is the one American audiences don't know enough about. She's the former Ring of Honor champion, and everybody knows Io Shirai and everybody knows Kairi Sane. Not enough of them know Mayu. She's the one out of the three. She's not the Marty Jannetty, but maybe out of the Fabulous Freebirds. Maybe she's not the Michael Hayes. She's one of the other two of the Fabulous Freebirds.
Michael Hayes, that's right. All right, now it's time to get to this announcement. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Back to you guys. I wish I should have taken that clip, but oh well. Too bad. I didn't have the opportunity. But this man announced, because we heard it all on social media earlier today, that earlier that day, that Warner Bros. Discovery announced that AEW will be having AEW Collision premiering on June 17th. And on Saturday on TNT, Tony Khan confirmed the announcement from Warner Brothers on the social medias. But as you noticed in the cover and the poster, originally there was somebody, of course, that man. He is not there. because I guess there was a dispute because him and Warner Bros. Are not getting along because of a dispute. There's rumor in your windows about Ace Steel not bringing him along on the road. He's supposedly hired back a couple months back, but he's working like behind the scenes, directly with Tony Khan, I guess via remote, not being at the attendance. But if CM Punk is not liking that idea, so there's right now who has the upper hand is CM Punk, and I heard everybody's thoughts, opinions throughout the whole week of this. I mean, here's the thing, and I'm just gonna give my take on this. This man created this to please the talents that he has under contract. You see that he has. We saw Andrade that day on Dynamite made his announcement. He's going to come back for Collision. We saw Miro last week. We saw Thunder Rosa last week. We saw people that are who are disliked from the rest of the roster of All Elite Wrestling. You will see these individuals exclusively for Collision. Now, is this a brand split? I don't say it fully, but there's certain possible that it could be some a possible brand split. Mind you, however, you will have the likes of how you see Orange and MJF make cross paths, Samoa Joe as well, which doesn't make any sense. He's a Ring of Honor television champion, unless you're going to have him drop the belt to Ring of Honor and then have him move up to AEW, to be part of the Collision show or for Dynamite as well. I don't know what's the plans for that. FTR, of course, they're going to be around most likely for both shows. So there's certain talent that's going to go to both shows, and there's some that's going to be exclusively for that. Tony Khan decided to do that. This is by my opinion. I'm just giving my opinion. Tony Khan, I feel, decided to do this. One, you have all these, talents under contract. You can let them go, because if you do let them go, then guess what? They're going to go to your competitor because they feel like, hey, and you don't want to do that. You're paying them to sit at home, so you'd rather just create something different and have them to do something. Biggest question is, how would they have the talent could have the right to go, hey, you know what? I don't like this booking. I want to go home. They could do that. We've seen that happen before. Andrade has done it plenty of times. Miro has done it plenty of times as well. It's there, the history is there. Even before they even came to AEW, they've done that before in WWE. I don't know about Thunder Rosa. Of course, there's I saw on social media somebody said that Saraya was telling everybody to apologize to Thunder. Saraya, obviously denied that. She never said anything of that. She's like, she's pretty much mentioned everybody should love each other and get along with each other. That's all she said. She never demanded the women roster to apologize to Thunder Rosa, or Thunder should apologize to the roster. So I don't know what's happening there. With CM Punk, on the other hand, like I said, he has the advantage right now. He has that by the balls. Tony Khan can't afford to letting him go with his contract, because that's a lot of money that he's going to let go and him to walk away with it. And you got to see it in the business aspect of Tony Khan, why he created this other show was because to separate the asylums, the insane asylum, putting him in one direction while he has the other direction. Does it benefit him? Maybe it will. Would it benefit Warner Brothers Discovery? Maybe it will. But there's rumors in the windows that I think is all kayfabe. Maybe CM Punk is going to show up next week. They're going to announce where it's going to be at. Chicago, most likely. And then they're going to announce CM Punk, the second coming. You've been hearing all of that crap. I personally, like I said, I have to give it to Punk. He has the advantage right now. He has Tony Khan and Warner Brothers under the balls. And Tony Khan cannot afford having Collision to downfall, especially if you're moving on a Saturday where you're going to compete, how you mentioned earlier, De Niro, about competing with, with PoE events with WWE, or even UFC events, or even boxing events, or, you're going on a Saturday competition. This is tough. Like I said, right now, who has the advantage of CM Punk right now? And this could go either successfully great, or it could go south, because a lot of these talents has that grasp under Tony Khan. If I were Tony Khan, I'm like, fuck this. Even though I lost so much money, I'm firing you. I'm firing you. I'm firing you. Who gives a
You're
shit?
fired. You're fired.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
You're definitely fired.
You're definitely fired. You know, like, oh well, you lost. You lost. You win some, you lose some. You have to. I mean, it's a gamble. So it's like, I know he's doing it to please his talent. He wants that viewership. Quite, you know, like you mentioned a while back too. Like last week, I believe we mentioned about what about the pop culture. People want to go out on a Saturday. How could that happen? Maybe would he be successful in the ratings? We don't. It's a gamble. This is a big gamble because now Punk has mainly the advantage. He has the advantage, man, and the rest of the talent too. So I mean, I want to hear De Niro, man, because I know you've been dying to talk about this. I want to hear it, brother. Preach the words. The floor is yours.
You know, there's times where I look at this decision and I like it. There's times where I look at this decision and I think it doesn't make sense. First of all, let's look at that poster. What stands out to you on that poster?
Let's see. MJF and Orange Cassidy.
Well, what stands out to me is Miro has been bald for like the last year. They should have updated that picture.
You're right. You're right. I forgot about that.
I'm joking. In all honesty, I think that, you know, first of all, I like how they're playing off of the old WCW logo and stuff, the Nitro logo. That's cool, but I mean, Nitro failed. So what does that tell you? I think that it could be a good thing for getting talent that you have on the roster on the show. Guys that we haven't seen, like Andrade, Miro, guys like, you know, House of Black. I was in the chat yesterday for the Tim King show, and I was saying how House of Black won their titles. They were on TV maybe 2 or 3 times since the last pay-per-view, and it's been about 7 weeks. What does that tell you? You know what I mean? There's no room for 150 roster members on a 2-hour show. So I like that it's going to give guys opportunity. I don't like that it was, you know, that they're fucking letting CM Punk dictate this shit. I don't like the fact that CM Punk still has any say after he did what he did at All Out last year. That motherfucker should be humble as fuck and be like, look, I will do whatever you guys want me to do. If I want, you know, this company to be successful, I'm here, whatever. I'll help you guys out. You should not have any say after you started the shit that you started last year. And now you're still starting shit. If you're fucking not going to wrestle because Ace Steel can't be backstage, then you're a bitch. You know what I mean? And I hate that shit. I hate the fact that everyone looks at CM Punk like he's the fucking god of wrestling. He's a great wrestler. He's a great mouthpiece. And I even would admit that AEW Dynamite.
He's an ideologue. He's an ideologue and he's a virtue signaler. That's what he is.
I would even admit that AEW has not been as entertaining since CM Punk left, right? CM Punk brought a lot of drama and entertainment to AEW Dynamite. But with that being said, I don't think that guy should have the creative control that he has. You know, even Eric Bischoff said it. And I don't really agree with a lot of what Eric Bischoff been saying lately because Eric Bischoff be talking crazy sometimes. But Eric Bischoff said that CM Punk is worse than Hogan at this rate. And I would admit CM Punk is worse than Hogan with trying to, you know, if I don't get my way, then I'm going home. And it's disgusting.
Mike, you took the words right. Eric Bischoff and you both took the words right out of my mouth. I was literally going to make that same comparison.
It's so apparent right now. And I'll tell you right now, if you look back and you look at Hogan, like, all right, so he didn't want to job to Shawn Michaels. So he didn't want a job to the Ultimate Warrior. Like, my man still went out there and wrestled the matches. Have you ever heard of Hogan, you know, not wrestling or holding the company up for hostage and all that shit? No. You heard that from other people. But Hogan always did business because Hogan was smart. Hogan didn't get along with Macho Man. Hogan did not get along with Ultimate Warrior. And guess what? They always did business. Hogan sometimes even teamed up with Macho Man. Why? Because it was best for business. So CM Punk is worse than Hulk Hogan in this rate. And I'll tell you this right now. Like I said, if it means that people are going to get on the show, that's good. If it means that AEW is going to be able to utilize that giant roster that they have, it's good. But the time slot, just like Rampage is a death slot, this is a death slot. Saturday nights, especially when you're going to be competing with boxing, MMA, and WWE PLEs, the ratings here are not going to show what you want the ratings to show. And I don't see this lasting for more than a year before TNT or Warner says, you know what, this is a waste of money. we like Dynamite. Dynamite's pulling in the ratings, but maybe we move Collision to HBO Max, or maybe we move Collision to something else, because right now we're wasting money on this and it's not really giving us a good return.
Oh man. What about the rest of the talent though that I mentioned? Like you know, like Andrade, Miro, and like remember, like how I mentioned their history. What are your take on that too? Like they also have the advantage too, because they could walk out and say, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this booking.
I mean, I here's the thing. It's going to kind of sound contradictory. It's going to kind of sound hypocritical after what I said about CM Punk. But I do agree, if you're an independent contractor, you should have say in what you do. But also, if you have another show being made just so you're on the show and it's catering to you, I think that they should give it a chance before they, you know, just walk out before they don't like booking. And I also do like that there is a bit of a change in the booking team for Collision there than there is for Dynamite. It was announced that Bryan Danielson is going to be on the creative team for Collision. It was announced that Pat Buck is going to be on the creative team for Collision. Those are two guys who are not on the creative team for Dynamite. So it's good that we're going to have a different style and a different creative approach to Collision. But I do think that if you have Tony Khan making a whole nother show just to cater to those who we can't fit on the show, I think that you got to, you know, at least give it a chance. If I'm Andrade, if I'm Miro, because Tony Khan could just be like, you know what, fuck you. If you're not on the show, if you don't like it, then go home. But instead, he's putting his ass on the line and making a whole nother show so these guys do get opportunities.
And yeah, I mean, Jesus, man. You're a good point, though. I mean, honestly, it's not it's valid, bro, what you said. I'm not saying I mean, I know you're saying about Punk, but it's different though, because it sucks because Punk he's the one that's getting paid the most.
Yeah.
You spend $5 million on this man. $5 million. Of course, that is shit. You
to be honest, if you think about it, they're not going to release him. So you're spending 25 because I believe it was a 5-year deal. Yeah. And it was $5 million a year. So $25 million is a lot for one guy who's not on the show because either he's always injured or if he doesn't get his way, he goes home.
That's why Tony Khan created this show, because he has no choice to fucking be under begging for him to like come back, man. Come back. I'll have to create this. I'll do this for you. Come on, all day. You know, I'm pretty sure he did. That's, you know, I'm just saying, as much as we hate it, and I'm with you, he's a fucking bitch because now he's holding Tony Khan hostage. He's holding Collision and Warner Brothers Discovery hostage, is what he's doing. And he's winning. I hate to say it, but he is fucking winning this shit.
Well, I'll add another thing. I'll tack another thing on to CM Punk. Not just like, is he comparable to Hogan? Maybe you could say Punk is like a combination of Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart, because remember how much WCW spent on Bret Hart to bring him in. And basically they spent all that money on Bret Hart and he barely did anything for how many months? Was it a year? How long, Mike, how long was it that Bret Hart did nothing with WCW? He just showed up, said hi and goodbye. You know,
it was about 8 months to a year for sure.
Jesus Christ. That's a long time to get paid to do nothing. You know, meanwhile, there's other guys busting their ass for barely a quarter of that pay. But I'll say this. One of the things to kind of consider is that, you know, of course the company is bigger than any one guy or any bringing in new talents or this and that, or any like 3 guys or 4 guys. It should always be focused on building new talent. I love hearing that Bryan Danielson's on the creative team. It's good that we have younger people in creative than like older guys that don't have their ear to the ground. I'll give a reference back to the Jeff Carpenter episode when he was talking about like having younger people who know what's going on in creative, because when you have older guys that have no idea what like musical trends, fashion trends, slang and all that, like Bryan Danielson isn't some spring chicken, but he definitely knows what's trendy out there and what's going on and what audience is like. So, and he also has the love of technical wrestling and, you know, martial arts and wrestling promotions from all around the world. So I think Bryan Danielson's brain is probably more important than CM Punk's feelings.
I like that.
Yo, clip that shit.
I will clip that.
we have to put Bryan Danielson's brain more important than how CM Punk feels or how many dollars you're gonna pay CM Punk. But hey, here's my other curveball. I've got one in store right now.
Okay, here we go. Let me play it.
So if you're going to value one talent kind of above, like one talent just to kind of get a lot of eyes on the product or for it to go well, I'd probably just go above, I'd probably want to go like above Punk and onto somebody else, and you have to think outside of the world of just wrestling. I know like WWE has like Bad Bunny, I like him better as a wrestler than a musician. No offense to the Bad Bunny fans. I like what Warhorse said. He's like, I have a suspicion that all rappers are high flyers.
Oh no, trust me, I'm staying grounded.
But I'll say this. So with everything that's kind of going on in like, I'd say alternative media promotions, because there's not just AEW and WWE. I mean, just recently, like the XFL's launched its like new rebirth, and everything that's going on. Maybe Tony could, because everybody's kind of brought up Goldberg, but I think because of who he is in the media and who he is to like the mainstream media, I'd rather charm Dwayne Johnson rather than CM Punk. He's probably way easier to work with. Maybe the dollars are more expensive, but you can't really put a price on mental stability or harmony. Think of how Dwayne Johnson would be to work with compared to CM Punk. Maybe he'll ask for less money just for maybe some advertising spots for the XFL or advertising spots for whatever movie he's in. So I'd rather work with Dwayne Johnson than CM Punk after everything we've gone through with CM Punk as it is. That's a better personality. That's somebody who has Priority Street. And I'll say this about CM Punk compared to Hogan. Like CM Punk's all straight edge, but he acts like he's on way more things than Hogan is.
Word.
It's like
erratic behavior.
You're more problematic than Hogan, but yet you don't do any substances. Maybe it must be the Pepsi he's drinking or something.
Exactly right. What kind of Pepsi he's drinking? That's for sure.
What kind of Pepsi is he drinking? But I'd say Tony should probably like mosey up to The Rock and Goldberg, and like it doesn't matter if Goldberg doesn't have good matches. Maybe you could do some other shit with them, advertising manager, whatever the hell. Put him in a protected match, mixed tag, whatever you could do. Limited shit where he'd be strong in. And then Dwayne is more. Dwayne is more mainstream than Punk is, I'll say. So I think he'd be The Rock would be a better kind of person to kind of, if you want to just preserve the sanity of your roster and have somebody who's easier to work with, that's probably worth even more than Punk. I'd probably say they should go over Punk's head and just go on to Dwayne. And then I guess for my last bit, I'll say for the time slot of Saturday night, maybe get mosey up a little friendship with Saturday Night Live. That's the thing. If there's anything that I think about on Saturday, because I used to watch Velocity right before Saturday Night Live started, I would just go back and forth between Velocity and Mad TV. And once Mad TV and Velocity were over, I'd just go right to Saturday Night Live at 11:30 for the opening sketch. So if anything, you got like, don't think so much MMA and other sports you're competing with. Maybe try to get one of your guys on Saturday Night Live and get him in a movie or something like that. Put Kenny Omega in whatever film and get him to host Saturday Night Live or whatever. Do something. Put MJF on Broadway and put him in Saturday Night Live. Put him in whatever musical with Lin-Manuel Miranda or something. Do something like there's a lot. Don't think in terms of what could go wrong. Think in terms of what could go right on the positive mindset.
But that's if NBC wants to work with AEW. I know, their partnership with WWE might prevent that.
Yeah, that's Saturday Night Live. Yeah, but Dwayne nowadays Dwayne is competing with the NFL. at the moment. And then of course
Actually,
Tony
he's working with the NFL because
Yeah.
the developmental. Because now he signed a contract that that XFL is also a developmental for the NFL, just like the USFL is like developmental for the NFL. So now they have that.
So I guess there is some kind of partnership because Tony's got the Jaguars. So if he's got his scouters on mind for anybody from XFL, maybe Tony could get first pick of the litter or something from whatever chickadees are ready to spring from the XFL or something. Like, oh, he looks pretty good from the Sea Dragons or the Defenders, that thing. So it's a big world out there. It's a big world, and this big world doesn't have to include CM Punk. It's a big world.
If they put the attention on MJF, their champion, like they are trying to put the attention on CM Punk, maybe MJF's title reign wouldn't be so fucking lackluster.
Yeah, I'll say this, like, Tony, there's plenty of fish in the sea. You don't have to ask CM Punk out on a date. There's prettier ladies than CM Punk.
Exactly, there is.
Yeah, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of more. But we'll see what happens. All I know is that we'll give you guys an update and give you guys our thoughts of more updates coming soon of the announcement for next week. Shout out to Temple, man. I know that my apologies that I get to your comments. I do watch English Premiere, but hey, congratulations, man. Yeah, Manchester, that's right. Just MU, baby, that's right. Good job, good shit. And yes, CM Punk, he did do the same thing to Ring of Honor before he left, and I think he went to WWE. CM Punk is the problem. Brian's mentioned, of course, Hogan didn't do the job. Yeah, for Roberts or for Perfect or Bret Hart mainly, especially SummerSlam. Well, King of the Ring was supposed to be. What's going on, JD? Shout out to JD Wrestle Bret Podcast. What's going on? All right, now we get into the Falls Count Anywhere. The Gajote, the Tom Brady of professional wrestling. Damn it, I don't care what anybody says. Jericho, I'm going to clip this for you. You are the Gajote, the greatest Jericho of all time. You're the Tom Brady of professional wrestling because this match was fantastic. I think this match was match of the Dynamite for me tonight because Jericho, when have we seen Jericho take a fall like this against anybody? And not only that, this is Roderick's childhood hero that he dreamed of having a match with, and he had a Falls Count Anywhere, which was great. I enjoyed it. Great chemistry between these two guys. Jericho being, Jericho is, he's a smart man. How to put opponents over, man. And the way how he did it, great heel-wise against Roderick, of course, towards the outside. And then we see Adam Cole right behind Jericho. And then, of course, Adam Cole attacking Jericho. Remember, he was banned from the arena, but he never said outside of the arena. And no Jazz were to be found because they were banned everywhere, I believe so. The entire arena, even outside. But so Roderick got the advantage here, and of course with the win, with the knee strike. So and the outside, and I saw that Ref Audrey, she posted a picture of her like, the grass scrape because it counted to 3. But this match was great. I enjoyed it. Kudos to the Gajote, Chris Jericho, for putting over Roderick strong on this one. I enjoyed this. It was great. It was entertaining and was wrestling as well. Awesome to see. People do not give Jericho credit where credit's due when it comes to putting opponents over. And he has been doing it by far as of late. And I'm loving it. I am loving what Jericho's doing. And that's why he is the Gajote. That's why he's a Tom Brady of professional wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not. He is. He's the Gajote, damn it, the greatest Jericho of all time. But go ahead, De Niro. Give us your take on this one.
I really like this matchup. It reminded me a lot of the old hardcore title matches in the Attitude Era where they go all around the arena. I love when wrestlers wrestle outside for some reason. That's one of my guilty pleasures when they go outside. I thought that was cool. I love the fact that Adam Cole outsmarted everybody. He waited outside, and the rule was he was banned from the arena, but it happened outside the arena. So really fun, awesome matchup. Really cool to see Roderick Strong get that victory. Quite frankly, that might be the biggest victory he had ever. He's going against a wrestling legend, and he beats him on national television. That's a huge victory for Roderick Strong. I like this a lot. I thought that it made both guys look good, and it made me a little excited for the pay-per-view, even though I said it last night. Why the fuck is Adam? I don't know. You know, we'll talk about the pay-per-view when we get there. But anyway, good matchup. Glad Roderick Strong got the victory.
Okay. Matt Callis, you were excited, so go ahead, break it down, brother.
I'll say, have you guys ever been to a restaurant where the food was so good you wanted to come back and try another dish on the menu that you saw? I was like, this is good. I want to come back and try this the next time I come back.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that is with this. Like, I got a different item on the menu, but I'm dying to try the other item next time I come back. So my next item on the menu, because this is like the sampler platter for Roderick Strong and Jericho. I want to go back for an entree of them one-on-one, just one fall, just a good regular in the ring match between those two. So I wouldn't mind if I saw that next week. I wouldn't mind if I saw that if they ran it back like a couple more times, you know, like I don't think I'd be sick of it just yet. And if I got to say something, if I could compare like also like a family to this, maybe like Shawn Michaels would be the grandpa, Chris Jericho, the dad, and Roderick Strong, the son.
Ooh.
You know, the trilogy of that long lineage, you know, maybe it would be, and maybe Ric Flair's the great grandpa. So this is probably the third or fourth match in that generation, because since Roderick Strong's hero is Chris Jericho, think about when Chris Jericho faced Shawn Michaels or when Shawn Michaels faced Ric Flair. Maybe you have to watch all four of those matches in a row, or all three of these.
George, or what's it called? Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. It's the same thing. Keep going back.
Going backwards, you know, Buddy Rogers versus Hackenschmidt or Gotch. And then keep going and going and going and going until we're back to the cavemen. You know,
like when the T-Rex faced the
Tyrannosaurus Rex, the T-Rex versus the Triceratops.
Yep.
We got to push Triceratops. I think he'd be good with the title.
He's good on the mic.
He's good on the mic. With the roll. No, but I'll say this is, as far as this match alone is concerned, this is probably either one of the best two matches of 2022, in my opinion.
2023.
Oh, man, see, this is how old I'm getting. I'm starting to forget. This is one of the best matches of 2023 so far. And this is probably my favorite match of 2023 so far. You could see the love that's been put into this and how entertaining they made it for all of us to enjoy. You know, they definitely both planned this out. I could see the same amount of love was put into this match that Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage put into theirs, with the planning, the execution, and just the sure respect that they have for each other put into the spots and everything, you know, the heritage. There might be even some nods to the past in some of the spots in this match. So this could be one that I'm definitely down to watch 2 or 3 more times. Like there's a few AEW matches that I've watched twice or 3 times, like Pac versus Kenny Omega with the Iron Man match, or the Kenta and Lance Archer versus Moxley and Omega, or the 4-way that match was, or the tag team that one was. That kind of had the same enjoyment that this one had. So, you know, I think the only thing I'll say is I want more. I want a second serving. Please get. Well, thank you, sir. May I have another?
This is such good shit.
Was good shit. I ain't gonna lie. This was really, really good. And both of you guys, what you guys said, nailed it in the coffin, man. Absolutely, I agree. Great booking, the way how I know Rod and Jericho went over through this fantastically, and they did an incredible job. And not only like to put over Roderick is what you need to do, and they did it, I think, great. This is a great way to do it. I'm excited for Roderick Strong's now running AEW, and hopefully they do it great.
And I got to say this honest statement. My last thing is that I wouldn't mind Roderick Strong as a champion within like the next 7 or 9 months, because he is a champion, a former Ring of Honor champion like Roderick Strong. I wouldn't mind him holding either of the top 2 belts, the Ring of Honor World Championship or the AEW, you know, because he is a championship material. He is a guy. And honestly, like the NXT run, I think only because Adam Cole was champion is the reason why he had to settle with the North American title. But he in my eyes is a world champion.
Yeah,
one of the best ROH champions of all time.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right, yeah. So let's get into now the matchup because segments that I want to raise. We'll talk about one segment, but we'll get to it. But man, this match right here, Jungle Boy, Jungle Jack, or Jungle Boy, whatever you want to give him a call, versus Rush. Look, man, I'm gonna say I don't know why the fuck did he took this match. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys. This was a stiff match. I don't know if people noticed it, but this match was stiff. These guys really beat. I'll put it this way: Rush beat the shit out of Jungle Boy. Rush did not even sold for him on the chops at all. If you guys notice the match, I had to go back watch it twice. Just like I watched the Jericho and the Raw, I've watched it twice. I had to see this one twice because just seeing Rush's facial expression, like what you're a little biatch. I'm not gonna take it from you, and he did not. Like, I get it. I think all of us talked about it here a while back. That I know the 4-pillar story is more like they're trying to make Jungle Boy like, oh man, they're really trying to put him over by being the underdog by him taking these type of challenges. But however, I wanted to book him how this one in this match. Hell no. I get it why he won with, of course, you know, with the pull up, you know, holding the tights. I get it. You saved your ass, but you notice the aftermath, of course. He was winded. I think I don't know if people noticed, but Jack Perry was winded of this match. Rush beat the shit out of him. And then just see him just still lay down and Rush just like it didn't look right. I don't know what the fuck happened here. It didn't look right to me. Then we got Sammy coming out. I mean, first Darby, then we had Sammy, or whoever was first, doesn't matter. Then they double team on Jose and on Prince. I don't know what is it, Vance. And then of course there was a stare down, and that was it. And CMJF, of course, looking at the screen, got mad, hit Renee Paquette's mic, and walked away. I've been saying this at the beginning when they started with this feud, heading into Double or Nothing, make it believable. And I don't think this was believable. You really tarnished Jungle Boy on this match, in my opinion. I know I'm going to get shitted on it, but I feel that this match was no need for him to prove anything at all. I just didn't Rush to, even though I saw the social medias them interacting. Oh, you know, I respect you for taking the beating, but next time I'm taking that belt, even if you have it next time. But it's just still like this match shouldn't have happened. I think Jungle Boy should have been booked better. But you put a former Ring of Honor World Champion like Rush, I don't know. This was I don't know if this was a test or I don't know what it was, guys. I don't know if it was a test for Jungle Boy. But this match was stiff. And, man, Rush, this is why Rush should be a world champion, especially for Ring of Honor, too. But, man, go ahead, De Niro. What are your thoughts, man? I don't know. What was your take on this match?
I honestly thought that this made Rush look a lot better than Jungle Boy. Rush looks like the man. Like, I've been saying it for a long time. Rush reminds me, I always say he's the Mexican Kenny Omega. Like, he is such a just explosive athlete, and I think that I wouldn't be mad if Rush took that place of Jungle Boy in this main event at Double or Nothing. But I think that Rush definitely looked like $1 million in this.
Okay, Matt Callis, did it work for you?
I'll say, if any comparison I'll make is, I'd say Rush is more like the Mexican Minoru Suzuki. He is just brutality, the no selling, the punishment, the heel. Like, I think him and Minoru Suzuki would have a pretty good classic.
Oh, hell yeah. Ooh, I gotta hit. Hold on. I gotta hit it because he's.
Oh, yeah.
I never even thought of that. Damn.
Me neither.
That is a classic waiting to happen. Minoru Suzuki versus Rush. Or
Forbidden Door.
Give me what I want.
or put her Roosh, because any of the guys who are good strikers, good punchers, good kickers, I martial arts dudes, I want to see how they do against Roosh, because I think that would be a nice kind of change up. It's kind of funny. Like my girlfriend grew up watching CMLL with her dad and seeing Roosh there, and she's also a big fan of Riverdale. So seeing Luke Perry's son up against Roosh and Roosh speaking English on top of that, saying "Enjoy me, cabrons, enjoy me." I was laughing at that. Like, it's Roosh in English, Roosh in English. But I got this. This should like it definitely made Roosh look very good, and I agree with you, Mike. He would be good in that 4-way, because I think Jungle Boy needs to try on. I've been saying this repeatedly for weeks, but I'm not the biggest fan of the whole Tarzan gimmick overall, because it's too kind of Disney for me, or too kind of, I want to see something else from him. And right now his persona doesn't seem to fit with it either. The way he microphone, he's wearing black jeans when he's cutting promos. He's not in the Jungle Boy gear. He's not a boy. He's definitely a man. So, and he definitely proved that he's a man in this one to take on, Roosh. So I think it should be, maybe this match could be the first step on his path to a new persona, possibly. So I got a lot of love for this. So I think it definitely kind of showed Jungle Boy's kind of tough guy side, him against the very violent dudes. So not that he needs it, but if somehow he gets extra pointers by the King of Pancrase himself and allies with Suzuki-gun, I think that'd be cool.
Wow.
Suzuki-gun's no longer a faction, sadly, but Minoru Suzuki is still a wrestler, and he doesn't really need backup. He's a one-man army. So I think that'd be, maybe Minoru Suzuki aligns with Los Ingobernables. La Faction Ingobernables would be kind of cool.
We'll see. All right, your boy, very cool. Yep, we got Ricky Starks versus Jay White. It was short. It sucked that it was like kind of like a main event for Dynamite, because I don't know. I mean, Jay White did a good job. I have a feeling that this is going to be a double or nothing event, a rematch. Something tells me that's going to happen. They haven't announced it yet because we haven't got there. But I was meh. I'll be honest. I wasn't like, oh my God. I just was not feeling it. God, I feel sorry for, Jesus, I feel sorry for fucking Jay White on this one. Why are you doing this to me, man? Jay White. But go ahead. I mean, De Niro, I don't know how you feel about it. I mean, there's nothing much we can really say about this one. It sucks, man.
Yeah, all I'm going to say, I'm going to keep it really short. It was a really good matchup, but Jay White deserves so much more than this shit. He's so much better than this. And that's no disrespect to Ricky Starks, but Jay White's so much better. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I feel the same. Matt, he's your boy, man. Just like he's our boy. I don't know. You like his booking.
I think we've had enough of this feud. There's a lot more that these guys could do with other people. This is. I think we should see other people kind of situation. It's not you, it's me, Ricky.
For reals.
This is they got to end this feud and put these guys off with other people. Pair them up. There's a lot of other better feuds we could get out of these three. Overall. In fact, I'll even go a little bit further to say that Juice Robinson, I want to see another side of him. I want to see him going one-on-one with another faction or other people. I don't think these two need to. I understand they're friends and they have a history at the dojo, but right now at this stage in their career, I think they're better apart. And everybody's better apart from this. These are all people that shouldn't be together right now. I want to see them against other people one-on-one, because you don't need a faction to keep them interesting. They're so great. All three of these guys are great on the mic. They're great one-on-one. They don't need none of these guys need factions or to be involved in factions or using names. Just their names alone and the feud alone and mic time alone is good enough. Give them mic time. Give them a good opponent one-on-one. There's plenty of guys to go against. Jay White versus Miro, Jay White versus Andrade. You could do any of it. It's endless. So, and same thing with Ricky Starks. Same thing with Juice Robinson. You know, you could get better matchups than this. You know,
Yeah.
this is like if you added lots of salt to a salmon or something like that. You could do better than like a pound of salt on salmon. You know, we could have a better combination of seasoning and sauce, basically. But no, you guys just like a bunch of salt on the salmon.
Oh my god!
We need a better recipe. We need somebody else to cook this up. These are great ingredients. These are great ingredients not prepared correctly. I describe this. These are such great ingredients. All of them are great ingredients, but you didn't prepare it right.
Exactly. Good analogy on that. Shout out to the TK the Banger podcast.
What up, Tim?
What's up, Tim? And of course, Brian said he didn't know that Gun broke up. Yeah, they broke up. They definitely did. Man. I don't know. It's just for me. I just think, yeah. I just, please get it over with already, for God's sakes. But now, speaking of not getting over, we're not going to get over this one because this is the one that, I know the people went nutty for this when we got the return of Adam Hangman Page. And of course, we did the Don Callis was supposed to come out, give his reasons why. He said that he did it for, Kenny Omega did him dirty, blah, blah, blah. And then Kenny was going to give his reason. Didn't happen. Kenny Omega's steam hit, was attacking the security. Of course, BCC came out of nowhere, beat up Kenny Omega. They were in the ring. Don Callis was gone. The Young Bucks come out with weapons. And then, of course, we get Hangman Page coming out. And him coming out, Omega was looking at him like, he's passing him the broom with the barbed wire broom. And, man, it was crazy. And then, man, it's insane. It is insane. Man, but definitely. But man, let's talk about it, man. What are your thoughts about it? Go ahead, Matt Callis.
So I think Anarchy in the Arena is a good match for these 8 people in particular. Because I guess I want to say Blood and Guts for different people in the match. Let's switch out Hangman with Kota Ibushi. I'll say it again. Or maybe you could switch out Nick or Matt with Kota Ibushi and have one of them go home and take care of the babies, because three guys out of the Elite have got babies at home that need some love. So you could switch in, like Kota Ibushi doesn't have a baby at home, so he's got his mama, but that's neither here nor there. And I'll also say that you could switch, you could switch somebody out from Blackpool Combat Club, maybe Claudio, because he's got to defend that Ring of Honor title on Ring of Honor. You could put him in a singles match with somebody else and put somebody else in to Blackpool. I don't know. Like I said, Konosuke Takeshita or Chris Brooks, somebody like that in Blackpool Combat Club, and then save that for Blood and Guts. But Anarchy in the Arena should be pretty good with these 8 in particular. But I guess they got to say Blood and Guts for a different group of 8 or 10, or maybe Blood and Guts will be 5-on-5 again. So they just we'll have I guess Blackpool Combat will have Konosuke Takeshita, and then the Elite will have Kota Ibushi, and then it'll be a pretty fun Blood and Guts, and yeah, and that's gonna be its own pay-per-view. I'm not sure which city. If it was up to me, I'd put it in Honolulu. If it was up to me, that's one of the cities in America they haven't gone to yet. So,
yeah. I mean, and then see what Brian got to say. Is it me, or does Don Callis look like an oil slick lawyer in the ring, just as toxic? No surprise he turned on Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah.
We live, baby. We live. What's going on? Kofi Weaston, Dirty Heels.
Don Callis is a bad guy to the max, and that's what he's good at. He's a good heel manager, and I think he'd be a good kind of guy to bring he's a good guy at introducing people. Like, if you don't know him, Don Callis could probably be the hype man to hype him up. Let me tell you about Konosuke Takeshita. Let me tell you about Chris Brooks. This guy kicks so much ass. You guys know nothing. He's next level consciousness. Like, that's all you need. As long, like, even if you don't have the footage, as long as you have Don Callis hyping him up and telling you about it, you don't need Excalibur to do it if you have Don Callis hyping him up. So it's like, this is the real god of pro wrestling. This is the real pantheon of pro wrestling. So like that. So like any manager, just like how Paul Heyman does it. So continue. Yeah, Pillman Jr. That's another one to do, because he's been there since day one, but he's been, I don't think I've seen enough of him. And now they're pairing, like, he's got a tag team with Brock Anderson now, but I gotta think of what they're gonna do with Brian Pillman Jr., because I like him as a singles competitor. I loved him in MLW. He had a one-on-one match with Tommy Dreamer. Brian Pillman Jr., so much potential that I think AEW's kind of like passed over him for other people. And I thought he was going to be like a top guy from day one, but you know, I still have to wait to see what they're going to do with him. They got to pull the trigger on him.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to pull the trigger and see what happens, man. But all right, the North said he'll be right back. But in the meantime, we're gonna start with the predictions. Yes, we're gonna do the predictions for Double or Nothing. There's 9 matches so far that I'm looking at here in the card. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, nine matches. We have 9 matches. So we're gonna get into it. That's for sure. But before we do, let me see what Brian got to say. All out of all of the older wrestlers, who could fit to a T as a manager? Jericho smart, as he could easily be hyped. Randy Orton could be low-key perfect for a heel manager role too. Yeah, that's true. You want to answer that, man? What do you think?
There's a few of them. You know, it's whoever's really good in the ring. I like Eddie Kingston personally. I really like. He still needs some. I still want him to have a championship run as a singles competitor, but there's a way he could do a little bit of both, because Christian's still wrestling, and he's kind of like an advocate manager at the same time. Christian's got like one foot in both, and I think Eddie Kingston, and he doesn't always have to be a heel. You know, I think Eddie Kingston, because he's so compelling on the microphone, he is just as good as a babyface manager. Just give him the mic time, and then you could get everyone believing in whatever cause. This is the revolution. We're fighting for freedom. You guys don't understand. This is like when I got to prison. You guys don't understand. We got to do this. You guys all with me? Like, I think Eddie would be good at that. Eddie Kingston would be my personal pick for that, because he deserves so much. I mean, I love him on commentary. I love him as a singles competitor, as a top guy. I think he could really put over a faction. Imagine Eddie Kingston as like a manager for like Konosuke Takeshita or any of the younger guys. You know, I was thinking Eddie Kingston as a manager for Marufuji would be badass. Would be perfect. Yeah, Kota Ibushi as a heel. Yeah, that I like that as well. You know, there anything that brings new talent in and uses and allows them to be used correctly, because everybody just says, oh, you know, roster's too big. You just have to know when to throw it in at the right time. We've got like, it's like a Chinese dish. I got more food comparisons coming up. So it's like a Chinese dish. Chinese dishes of food have multiple ingredients. When they come together, it creates a beautiful multi-layered flavor. Or Sri Lankan food also has multiple spices, and they create a beautiful painting of the dish when it comes together. And I'm thinking this is what AEW could be if you have the right cook in the kitchen, the right recipe, because we have so many great ingredients. You just need a good cook in the kitchen.
That's right. Now it's time to get into Double or Nothing. Let's start with this will be the first. I don't know if it's going to be in order, but this is going to be how it is. So let's start. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for. Yep, I want to get this out of the way. Might as well. TNT Championship ladder match. Wardlow and Christian Cage. Of course, we saw what happened on Dynamite with the segment. Christian, Wardlow coming out of the beginning. He called out Christian Cage. He's going to spit on my face. And then we see Christian, of course, coming out, telling him, off the mic, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to take away your belt, blah, blah. About to spit on Wardlow's face, but Wardlow, was choking Christian. Of course, Luchasaurus came in, and of course, they beat the shit out of Wardlow, putting him through that ladder. And then later on, I'm going to beat him in his own game. I'm going to beat him a ladder match for the TNT title. Like, Wardlow, you are not fit for a ladder, man. Of course, you did win the brass ring a while back. I know you did that, but I don't know, man. I don't think you're fit for the ladder. You got an expert and, of course, someone like Christian Cage. Ugh, I don't know about that, buddy. But, man, who do you got, Matt Callis? I'll tell you right away who I got. I think Wardlow will retain. He'll probably powerbomb Luchasaurus from the ramp to those tables. And I think that's what's gonna. It's just I'm gonna get shit on this. I'm not invested in this match, nor the feud. I feel like, yeah, it's what it is. I don't care about it. What do you got, Matt Callis?
I'll honestly say I'm actually going to go with the wild card. I'll go with Christian getting the belt. But other than him being an expert in ladder matches, because all those matches with the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys and all that experience, like that's very apparent in there. They're definitely going to have a lot of references to that. But that could be the reason he wins, just because I know Excalibur is going to mention the fact that all the TLC matches that they helped make happen. He's definitely going to use a chair because I think chairs are definitely allowed in ladder match. I don't think they're banned. A lot of weapons are used, so I'm pretty sure he'll do a concerto on Wardlow. But the other thing that could happen is, or the other reason why Christian would be a good champion in this instance is kind of like whenever an older guy holds like a mid-card belt and how they elevate it. Like, I guess more recently, Tanahashi with the U.S. title and the Never Openweight title, or Jay White with the U.S. title or the Never Openweight title, or if I go way back, maybe like 2002, Ric Flair with the Intercontinental title on Raw. I think that's like another comparison. So Christian, with his long career, I think he could elevate the belt. And the fact that it's happening at a pay-per-view makes it worthwhile. It's not just a hot potato that they're doing on an episode of Dynamite or Rampage or soon Collision, with that coming up. Maybe if they do kind of the same thing, because Christian debuted Rampage taking the Impact belt off of Kenny. So who knows? Maybe Wardlow retains, and then maybe one more match and Christian takes it off him on the debut of Collision. They might do something like that, or somebody takes the title off Wardlow on Collision. Oh, Brad. Hey, just show up with some flowers, go on the dating app. He's got that, what was it, this face where he's like, what Chris was making I forgot, it was the duck lips.
The duck lips, yeah, the one that Chris does.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now we move on into the AEW tag team titles. Of course, we have FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. You saw what happened on Dynamite as well. The return of Karen Jarrett. Why? I wish that the dinner will probably come back in a few, but this. All right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm liking this story. I gotta give, like I said, I'll give credit where credit's due. I give credit to Jeff Jarrett, the way how he's telling the story, how he's booking the storyline with this feud between them, and the FTR. Yeah, this is like your TNA versus I guess FTR. I can say they're WWE, but man, I think Briscoe will. Well, Briscoe will, he'll pretty much Mark Briscoe will be a face. Of course, we see FTR retaining. I don't see Jarrett and Lethal winning, but yeah, I have FTR winning. But this is gonna be a good match. I think it's gonna be a solid, good storytelling, to be honest. As much as but go ahead, Mike. Who do you got on that one?
I'll say that FTR is definitely outgunned, it would be too predictable in my mind for if they retained, because they've already had some like 2 other really good title reigns with this belt, and Jay Lethal has not held a single championship since coming to AEW, and he definitely deserves it. And then Jeff Jarrett, I guess it's going to be more. Once again, I'm giving the same reason Christian should hold the TNT title, just because he's an older wrestler and he has a lot of history behind him. If whatever young team faces Jeff Jarrett for the tag belts would really be elevated if they beat them. You know, it just needs to be. I think whoever beats Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal at Wembley Stadium would be huge. Who knows? What do you guys think? Aussie Open, maybe it would be really cool for them to take the titles off Jeff Jarrett. And
Hell yeah! But I'd rather have FTR and Aussie Open and Forbidden Door or at Wembley.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that too. But maybe it's just because of like Jeff Jarrett's whole international. You know, he's been a name a while. I know plenty of people know FTR, but I think it would be for young wrestlers like I pinned Jeff Jarrett. I pinned Jay Lethal. I pinned 2 former world champions, and we're young. We're Aussie Open. We're so young, you know, blah, 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 you know, or whatever. Maybe whatever young tag team beats them really gets the rub onto, and like we're on a whole other level. We're the guys. You know what? If this could also be a curveball for you guys, because, you know, I guess we could hit it one more time, Ivan.
All right, let's hit it. Let's hit it.
Top Flight.
Oh, but Homeboy's still hurt. He broke his ankle.
We gotta wait a minute before, what was it? Dante and the brothers. What, Dion or what's his name? The other brother?
Dante and Darius.
Was it Darius?
Yeah, Darius. Yes.
Yeah, Darius Martin. So, because Top Flight's been there a while, and they definitely deserve. You know, I think they should finally have a win. So it'd be kind of nice to have. Yeah. Well, what was the last? Go over the way FTR can win them back and add another reign. Okay, yeah,
that makes sense. That too. Yeah,
that's good. So I guess, and I think maybe if they have Briscoe again as the ref for Top Flight versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, he could be like maybe the manager for them while pursuing a single. Like they could be like a small faction while he's pursuing like a singles like title reign, you know. So like that kind of thing going on. Who knows? It'd be even crazier if you had Top Flight holding another pair of tag belts or something like that. So it kind of goes on. So there's a lot of different things you could do, but I think I wouldn't be too upset with either win, but I'm just leaning more towards Jeff and Jay, just based on that.
Okay, love that. All right, and then we move on to the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill defending against Taya Valkyrie, which is official. I thought it was going to be on Dynamite next week, but it's not. So they're going to have it now on Double or Nothing. I think that's probably going to be opening maybe soon. But look, I'm going to say very brief. I think we might see Taya heel turn heel, and I think we're going to see Jade Cargill going face. Something tells me she's going to go face here. I don't know why. Does it fit her to be a face? No. But she could be, you know, I think she could fit to be a face. Even though...
She was a face during the Nyla Rose angle.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you're right about that, huh? Maybe she doesn't need to be a face, but I think it's gonna be a good solid match. I see Cargill winning. But I see Taya going heel mode here, attacking the refs, and probably giving Audrey Edwards the all hell Valhalla on Audrey Edwards. I think she isn't gonna happen at Double or Nothing, so I feel like that might happen here. But it's gonna be a good solid match. I'm looking forward. But who do you got to know?
I'm actually going for Taya Valkyrie. I think just because of her past history with AAA, and Impact, I think she really would put the title back on the map, especially if she could defend this title in other promotions and kind of really be because she didn't really have any title reigns during her NXT run, and she's had a lot of action in AAA, but I think her also taking the title off Jade can give Jade the chance to go to Japan and do what she needs to do over there with Tokyo Joshi Pro, so she could learn all the different styles. Like there's ladies in Tokyo Joshi Pro and Stardom that, you know, that are like like Japanese female Bryan Danielsons, you know, like Jade Cargill can face Sayuri, she could face Utami, the Red Queen, she could face, you know, the list goes on and on. She could face Riho, she could face, you know, so many different people in Tokyo Joshi Pro and Stardom, and a lot of, she could face Kyrie, she could face Mercedes, like the list goes on. Now Taya could whether they have the turn or not, because it's like when Kenny won the AEW World Championship and finished his heel turn and became full heel. So I'd be on board for both a heel turn and a title change. So Jade could do what she needs to do, you know.
Okay, interesting. Let's see what Brad got to say. I want to see Jade go
about it. Yeah,
I agree with that. I think that'd be great. Hell yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that either. I mean, we haven't. Where the hell is Mercedes Martinez? Damn it! Where the hell is she? Damn it! Jesus Christ! But yeah, I mean, we'll see what this matchup. We'll get it in. But what about this, man? We saw, of course, Orange Cassidy saying, "Hey, he doesn't have any, you know, opponent, I guess, for Double or Nothing." And then he told everybody, "You want to face me? Go to Tony Khan's locker room." 21 people went in there and asked for the title shot. So they decided to make it a 21-man battle royale for the Blackjack battle royale for the AEW International Championship. Man, and I thought we are gonna get Kyle Fletcher, and I guess it didn't happen. I think it's gonna happen this week, for sure. But I think we're gonna see Kyle Fletcher. Do you see any surprises? Oh yeah, Jade in Japan. Yes, see her in Stardom. I think will be awesome to see her. That's for sure. But what do you expect out of this battle royale? Do you see any surprises, Matt Callis, or what do you expect coming into Double or Nothing in this battle royale from New Japan? I think it's from New Japan mainly,
New Japan, the Ring of Honor roster. You know, there's a lot of different people that could come in, but I definitely want to see some of the super heavyweights come over, and finally we could see some maybe. I'm just off the top of my head, maybe Lance Archer. You know, I wouldn't mind. I don't want him doing the job either to Orange. I want him to get that title because he only had the IWGP US Championship, but I think he needs an AEW title on board because he's been there. He was there throughout the whole pandemic. He's been there a long time now, and he deserves, and his career is even longer because he's been there since Impact, and he had a short stint in WWE. He's a veteran, so if there's anybody who deserves that belt, to elevate that belt, I definitely think it's Lance. So I'd probably give it to Lance Archer because I think he could elevate it both physically and spiritually. You know,
right?
Physically in terms of height, you know, I guess if you consider the soul part of the body, I guess he's got a tall soul as well. So there you go.
Oh, Miro, yeah. Hopefully we get Miro in that battle royal.
Yeah, Miro too. He's had the TNT title before, but I guess, you know, he could have a bit of a reign. Andrade, I'd be on board with that as well. You know, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of the company has a lot of top guys, you know. And if I really want to get weird about it, what's gone on with Kyle O'Reilly lately? Is he still injured? It must be pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. He's still out for a cool minute.
Yeah, so it'll be a while before I see Kyle O'Reilly in. That's because AEW has a lot of former world champions on the roster, but my personal pick will be Lance Archer.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We're gonna do. Oh, yes. Like a joke. Chris Jericho. What's going to happen? The contract signing is this week coming up on Dynamite. Rumor is going to happen. It's going to be an unsanctioned match. That's what they're saying. So it might be taking place of that, the unsanctioned match. That might happen. So we got the joke, the greatest Jericho of all time versus Adam Cole, baby. Man, this is going to be a great match. I think I'm excited because the chemistry these two guys have. And if Jericho could put a solid match, what he did with Roderick Strong, doesn't mean that he can't do it here with Adam Cole. And I think he can definitely do that here. And it's going to be, the question is, who goes over? That is the biggest question. I here will have to say, it has to be Adam. You know what? Oh, I'm going to get shitted on this. I think this feud is going to continue. Something tells me we're going to see this happening. So, you know what? I got Jericho going over here. Yes, I got Jericho. I know.
That's fucking bullshit.
Bullshit, Tony Khan. Because I know Jericho is doing better booking than you. But yes, I got Jericho winning over, and the feud continues. Who do you got, Matt Callis? Who do you got?
So I'm going for Adam Cole, but I think he's not going to get this win unless lots of blood. If this is the end of the feud, if it is the end, because I'm kind of glad they didn't just match them up for who's the better wrestler, It's more they gave them personal reasons and hatred and a deep story, because both of them are really good at that. Both of them are both good at being like the main heel and the main focus of hatred, or the up and coming baby face and the main focus of hero-ness. They're good at being betrayed, and they're both because Adam Cole was good at being betrayed when it was like Marty Scurll and the Young Bucks kicking him and him being fired from the Bullet Club, and Chris Jericho was good at being betrayed when he was during the Festival of Friendship with Kevin Owens. So they have a lot of these guys are great actors. Don't be surprised if you don't see Adam Cole in a movie. If you see Adam Cole in a movie pretty soon, he should. If there's anyone who should also make like the jump to Hollywood from the AEW roster, it should be Adam Cole, baby.
There you go.
So I wouldn't mind seeing Adam Cole as a leading man in a film, in an action movie. Because he's that kind of character. But this match should definitely have a lot of bloodshed, kind of like with Eddie Guerrero and John Cena. No, with John Cena and JBL, like that kind of level of blood is kind of what I'm expecting from this. If it's a unsanctioned, they're not saying lights out, but they are saying unsanctioned. Yeah. And if there is another match, it has to. If they're gonna have another match, they have to make it either maybe like 2 out of 3 falls, or because like Adam Cole did with what's his name, with Johnny wrestling Johnny Gargano. They could maybe have a callback to the Johnny Gargano 2 out of 3, or the AEW. This is just my personal opinion, but AEW could have an equivalent to Hell in the Cell. Like the Rage in the Cage, or some sort of bird cage, something like that they do, where you can't get out of the cage and they got to settle it. They had a cage match, but I want something where they're like trapped in there and they really can't escape. And whoever wins is the one who settles, is like the pure end of the feud finally. So the next match either has to be like more in ring, because I'm pretty sure this one's going to be out the ring. So this one's going to have a lot of weapons involved. So is my guess. I don't know if they're going to do thumbtacks again, because we've been seeing thumbtacks and broken glass a lot lately. So they gotta try something else different with this one. Because like Blackpool Combat Club already has like the screwdriver and all this other stuff. So I don't know what they're gonna do with this one. They're gonna have some different weapons involved. If it's unsanctioned, they gotta try something different.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be interesting to see, though. I think it's gonna be something. We gotta see for sure interference. We might see the return of Kyle O'Reilly, maybe as a guest, like a little cameo appearance along with Bobby Fish. We might see like the return of the Undisputed. You might see that. I think that'll be awesome to see. Just a little cameo appearance just to back off Jazz. Maybe that'll be awesome. We don't know the conditions of Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know if he's okay. Bobby Fish, depending on him if he wants to work.
Who knows, Ivan? It could be like my theory of because Jay White probably doesn't forgive or forget, so it'd be kind of good sewing him into the storyline, because I would like Jay White involved in this rather than with Ricky Starks. It would be a better use of him in here. I want Jay White interacting with Jericho either as an enemy or a friend, or an uneasy friend. Maybe a friend who one betrays the other would be kind of interesting. I would like that. I want Jay White cutting a promo on both of them. So I think Jay White should be in this storyline rather than with Ricky, because he doesn't really have all that much of a history with Ricky, but he's got a history with Adam. And I've been wanting, and Jay White was one of the few Gaijin that was, holding championships and threatening people and being dangerous alongside Jericho. Maybe he could have had some jealousy over Jericho back during Jericho's New Japan days. So it could be a call back to that. So I'd want Jay White involved in this storyline sooner or later with one of them.
Oh,
I think
I'm with you. Adam Cole, man. Adam Cole.
Jay White with one of these guys after whatever is whatever feud. I'll call that feud like an appetizer at Walmart type of feud with Ricky Starks. That's like the Walmart appetizer feud. This is the Black Angus entree right here feud. This is the so that's what I'm at.
Awesome. All right. And we got, of course, the AEW Women's Championship on the line. Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm. This is going to be interesting. I'm excited for this one. Can we see the debut or making probably I think Brad or Temple was the one said it on the chat. I think it was Temple. Mercedes Moné interfering in this match. Maybe I see Jamie retaining, but I see the aftermath. Mercedes Moné comes out and possibly joining the Outcast. That'll be something to see. Oh, I'll imagine that happens, but I don't know.
Mercedes has history with Saraya, right? She's like had matches with her in WWE. Yeah, so there's a good reason. That's a good way to bring her in, and a lot of eyes would be on the women's division, especially with her in as a heel. So, and then Mayu would have a reason to come in because Mayu's got her history with Tony. So, and she now has a history with Mercedes because she took the title off Mercedes. So Mayu has every reason to get involved in this. Even though she's like she has the belt, but she has a reason to get involved with this because she's got like an emotional connection to both Tony and Mercedes. So sooner or later, and Kairi, even Kairi Sane's got a history with this too. So
what do you think? Who do you got? And do you feel like Mercedes might show up on this one?
I think she should. That's what I want to happen. And maybe I'm about 70%. I'm leaning 70% towards that. 78.9% towards the likeliness of her showing up. It'd be a bit boring for Jamie to retain, in my opinion. So I think it needs to be, because Tony didn't really. They made her the non-interim champion. Like first she was interim champion, and then they made her champion. So maybe it's Tony's chance to really feel like she earned the title the same way. I think that's the whole history of Tony with championships, like her not feeling like she earned it and her just being handed it or not facing the opponent she was supposed to. Like her not beating Thunder Rosa or her not beating there's a long history there. Maybe Thunder Rosa might get involved. She's got a reason to. You could throw her in the storyline as well.
That's true. We could see a lot of that happening. Oh man, I can't wait for Double or Nothing. That's gonna be great.
Nope. They got to make it. They got to make this a big one. They definitely should have a lot. I'm all for outside interferences. I could think of outside interferences as the Emerald Lagasse, bam, kick it up a notch. I think we got Ivan. I got an idea. I think we should use that as the Emerald Lagasse's, bam, kick it up a notch.
Okay. Bam. Send me that clip and I'll definitely use it for sure. Yes.
Bam. anytime there's somebody debuting, just Adam Cole as the boom, Emerald Lagasse as the bam.
You gotta use that for sure.
You just add bam.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So that was Team Bad. That was with Team Bad, and they feuded against when Saraya had Sonya Deville and Mandy. Yeah, they had Mandy. Forgot the name of that damn. I think was it. I forgot. Yes, Jordy. Yeah, she resigned with Impact, so she's not going anywhere. She is staying. Now here's a question with this one. I don't know what should be the main event, but I think this is going to be the co-main event in my opinion, and that's going to be, of course, the Anarchy in the Arena matchup. That is going to be, of course, the BCC and versus the Elite, the return of Hangman Adam Page. Who do you got on that one, Matt Callis? What do you have on that one?
It's a bit early in the feud for the baby faces to win, because I know they definitely have a lot more story to tell. I mean, Hangman's a strong guy, and I get to finally see, it'd be cool to see Hangman have some like alone time fighting Claudio. So I hope Hangman gets a lot of one-on-one fist with Claudio, because I don't think I've ever seen Hangman and Claudio go one-on-one. So maybe we could get that feud coming out of this. They could have a few one-on-one matches, Hangman and Claudio. But I think Blackpool should win this one with the help of Chris Brooks and Konosuke Takeshita. I think, and then with, or Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi, everybody's going for Kota Ibushi as a heel. We would want to, I think it'd be fun to see the Golden Lovers reunited as a tag team, because that'd be kind of cool to see them against Blackpool Combat Club, or you could throw them against whatever tag team. You could do a lot with them. But I think I definitely want to see Kota one-on-one with Danielson a lot more, because he's got more interesting opponents on the heel side of the coin. So I'm definitely that's what I think should happen. I think Blackpool should win this one, so the Elite could win at Blood and Guts, because I think Anarchy in the Arena was almost created for Jon Moxley, because he didn't want to do Stadium Stampede. So this is how it's gotta be. So I guess they'll do Anarchy in the Arena. Blackpool Combat Club will win this one, just to kind of show like their dominance and legitimacy as a faction. And Don Callis to give his reasons on why he's siding with them, So I'm going with Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, same here. I go with BCC. I'm with you. The feud is going to continue for Blood and Guts for sure. But I know that Temple's saying that Kota Ibushi. I mean, we all want that, right? But here's a curveball, though, Matt Callis. Your curveball is Jay White costs the match to the Elite. Don Callis joining along with Jay White and Juice Robinson. You bring two more other people. Give me El Phantasmo, come back to join there, or give me the Gorillas. No, you know what? I can't. It can't be God because they got kicked out. But I see ELP coming back. Him joining with Jay White, a third member, fourth member. I'm telling you, I wouldn't mind having Lance Archer to join that faction, or someone else. Archer, because Archer and Hangman has a past. I think that will fit. You have Jay White, who has a past with Kenny Omega, and you have the Bucks. I mean, who do they really feud with? I mean, I don't know what other tag team you could bring that had a feud with them in New Japan. It all depends. I don't know, but the curveball could be maybe Jay White. Let's say Don Callis is managing the Jay White. That will fit. I think that would fit perfectly. Even though Jay White doesn't need someone to speak for him, because Jay White could talk on the mic, but I feel that Don Callis could throw that curveball to us, and we're all thinking probably Konosuke Takeshita, Kota Ibushi, or heck, what about Konosuke Takeshita, Kota Ibushi, Jay White, and Juice Robinson? There you go. The golden, you can have the Bullet Club Gold. That gold, because Golden Lovers, Kota Ibushi.
because of Kota Ibushi, because he's the golden phoenix, you know. So Kota Ibushi, I'm on board with that. I mean, given Jay White also has history with Moxley, because Jay White's one of the few people to beat Moxley during the G1. So that's also another part of the story as well. So you could mix that into it. So maybe Blackpool Combat Club could stay tweeners and they could fight it could be a 3-way war, you know, because Jay White doesn't have any reason to be friends with Danielson and Moxley or be friends with Kenny and Hangman because he hates all 4 of them. Well, I don't know if he's got any reason for Danielson, but it would be good to see him against Danielson or Claudio. But he has a history rivalry with both Kenny and Hangman as already in the past, and he's beaten both of them.
Definitely. Oh man, I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out to be. But I think this should be the main event. Something tells me this is going to be the main event, but we have to put the world title the event. It sucks that it's just like I said, the story has not been believable to me. So, but let's get into it. Let's talk about it. The main event, the AEW World Championship, a 4-way match, MJF versus Sammy Guevara versus Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Darby Allin. Man, look, right away, MJF. I'm sorry. I have a feeling that this is going to be the co-main event. Something tells me this is going to be the co-main event for Double or Nothing. It shouldn't be that way because you want to build your title to be the main event, right? But because of the whole Elite Bullet Club, I mean, the whole Elite BCC feud has been really great. Now with Hangman return and everything else, I feel that this is going to be the co-main event. I mean, I got MJF. I mean, just playing Super. I think it's going to be a good match, though. It's going to be close calls. You know, like, oh my God, we could have had a new world champion. I think the psychology of this match is going to tell a lot of stories within the 3-on-1 and then within each other. But I think overall, I think the way how it's going to end is MJF pinning someone, which I don't know who. It could be any of these 3 guys, and they're all 4 of them are beat up, and MJF walks out as a world champion and got lucky. But I think this should be a solid 4-way match. Who do you got in this one, man, Callis?
So I'm either going to go with Darby Allin or MJF. Jungle Boy doesn't seem like he's ready. I'm not ready. The audience doesn't seem like it's ready for a Jungle Boy world title reign. It feels way too rushed, too soon. You know, it's like making him the belle of the ball too soon. It's not the time. It's not his time yet. Sammy Guevara would be way too unpopular of a world championship. Like, even in his hometown, I'd say it was like 70% cheering for him. Like, I understand he's a heel, but like MJF is more of a lovable heel than Sammy Guevara is. So I think it has to go to either Darby or MJF. Because Jungle Boy, I don't know if Jungle Boy's ready. When you're champion, you have to be on the mic, you have to be in their face. You have to have a lot of people identify with you. Like, a lot of people sing along with the song, they cheer for him, but he doesn't seem like a world champion yet. It's just not there. I don't see him as a world champion yet. He's not. He doesn't have his world championship gimmick yet. I think Jungle Boy needs a new coat of paint before he gets that title.
Yeah.
So it's got to be between Darby and MJF. You know, if it's gonna be soon, like Darby has a lot of reason to hold it, and he's gotten the blessing from Great Muta. Great Muta's given him Great Muta and Sting and all these great wrestlers. Like almost all the veterans of Noah have given him the love. He's gotten the rub from Marufuji himself in Noah. That's how much he's even learned a thing or two. I like Darby's Scorpion Death Drop too. That was badass. I like that he's using that too. If he gets the title with the Scorpion Death Drop, that would be sick. So I maybe we could have Darby defend the title against Marufuji, and that would be pretty sick. So he's gotten the love. He's gotten a lot of love from like the diehard pro wrestling fans, you know. So that's a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah,
So.
definitely. Yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff, man. But it's gonna be exciting. Double or Nothing is gonna be great. I can't wait. It's gonna be a spectacular, tremendous. But yes, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 hours and 43 minutes of fantastic time. We broke down everything from Impact Under Siege. We broke down NXT Battleground, Night of Champions, AEW Dynamite, and also Double or Nothing. I know De Niro had little things to do right quick. That's why he couldn't join us very quickly to do this prediction. But don't forget, I mean, we'll be back next week. Hopefully next Monday we'll be back during the holiday, depending on Matt's calendar schedule too, because it's a holiday, Memorial Day. Might recap, of course, Double or Nothing for sure. But and also don't forget to stay tuned as well here on besides on COD. Don't forget once again to subscribe and follow on Twitch. Besides COD, Circle Debate, also follow as well the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Also, we're going to be having the watch-alongs there for this upcoming weekend for Double or Nothing and for also as well for Night of Champions. I don't know about the NXT Battleground. I don't know. Of course not. It's going to be Tuesday, so we got to be Double or Nothing. But stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe and follow the Bloodline Entertainment Network as well. And go to the sexy website, bloodlinenetwork.com. Make sure you go there and enjoy it. But we appreciate you all for tuning in. And then all we can say is get ready enjoy the holiday Memorial Day weekend, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of pro wrestling coming to you. A lot more. You still got even New Japan coming up still with the Best of Super Junior still going on. The finals, I think, is happening that week. So it's going to be a lot of good shit. And yes, Brad Hollywood, Jack Perry will be heel. Luke Perry, yes. Scott Super heel, yes. Jack Master, yes. The Munch is good. I got Munch. Yeah. All right. Appreciate you for tuning in, though. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, the host Steve is what I've been seeing, of course, with De Niro, which he left, but it's fine. But we got the Invisible Hand of podcasting here.
Right here.
That's right. He is there. And of course, here on the COD, here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network, and Rest of the DeLorean, we don't just podcast.
We don't just podcast. We make history.
Must be Juju. A goodbye. Mwah. And good night.